the hot
wiping.
I can't wait for that.
Oh boy.
So you got to save it for after the intro rolls. Don't tell us now. But
Jesus.
Rylan specifically,
I forgot to
Facebook
even tell
messaged
Kyle
me,
about that.
and he's like, "I need you to ask Kyle this question," and I'm like, "Okay, I got you."
It should be fun.
Sorry, Kyle. I did mean to catch you off guard there.
You'll laugh about it when we get to the story. Maybe. We'll see.
No, that's a good one. That made my day, that text message.
Alrighty then. So what story is that?
Once we get the show started, we'll tell the story. So we're not spoiling stories. I'm happy to see you here, Vince. How did March Madness go for you?
I couldn't tell you. It hasn't happened yet. It'll be available everywhere at 6:06 p.m. Central Standard Time on March 24th, Sunday next week. So we'll find out next week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shut up. It's the thing.
Listen, I thought I heard that maybe it was being recorded today. I guess I got that wrong.
Oh no, we do everything live over on March Madness. Everything's live.
Fair. So let me ask you this: if next Sunday when that goes live, I were to, because I told you I wasn't doing March Madness anymore. I was done with that shit. If I was to like make a surprise cameo appearance and just like hop in for an hour or so of the show, hour and 20 minutes, how would you feel about that? Would you enjoy my presence on the show, or would it be an annoyance?
Honestly, I was really kind of looking forward to a breath of fresh air without a Ritter in the show. Like, unless you double the dosage and give me 2 Ritters, I might let you slide. But if it's just you, like, I don't
know what? I might be able to make that happen.
All right. Sounds good.
I don't know why it changed shit, but
what changed what?
I went into, so I bought a second monitor for when I stream Final Fantasy VII, as well as some other shit.
That. Yeah.
So I've got that here, and I decided I'm going to put Twitch up over here so that I can moderate the chat in case we get some bullshit. And I got to log in for Creation World to get in to do all of that stuff. And I had it up, and it was there, and then all of a sudden it started playing Friday's show, and I never clicked on Friday's show, and I don't know why I just did that. Just like left the stream, so
technology is hard. See, I learned that the hard way.
No, why are you doing this? What is this up next bullshit? Stop. No.
Anyways, Kyle, man, it's been a while, man. How you been?
Been good.
I feel like I haven't seen you
4 days,
like months, actually, like weeks, actually. I'm really looking forward to getting back together.
What's up, off the top?
Recording on the 5th on Matt's birthday. Actually, we're gonna get together on Matt's birthday. You know, do some podcasting together.
Is that official, or is that some kayfabe bullshit you're not supposed to be saying on air? Because I hate when people do that.
Our listeners know that we record way ahead of time. We do not shy away from the fact that me and Kyle sit down on a Tuesday and bang out 2 episodes almost every week.
Damn, you guys bang it out on a Tuesday?
Well,
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna need to go to Canada so I can bang it out with Kyle on a Tuesday.
Listen, I told Kyle that once we start looking for housing situations, the wife and I, it's Canada as a candidate. Like, we're looking at Toronto. Seattle is up there as well. So if I go to Seattle, I'll make the drive to bang it out on the Tuesday with Kyle.
Wait. What?
That's a long drive. I don't think you understand how long of a drive that is.
There's way more Canada than you think there is.
I want to know why Seattle and just Canada in general are your option.
So
we have a beautiful country.
Hold on.
I'll never understand why Toronto.
I'm not insulting Canada. I'm just saying he didn't say Ontario. He didn't say Toronto. He didn't give a specific. He just said
we
or
haven't narrowed
Canada.
down.
Like the whole country is an option. Is
Yes,
what I'm saying.
Yes, Shane. Canada is huge, and I want to
massive
be
country.
inside of it because I heard of how huge it is. But it's mostly because we haven't narrowed down the city. But but we were just like kind of like looking at alternative locations to live outside of Chicago and Seattle. Melissa's been there and she loves it, and I've never been, but I heard iCarly was recorded there, or at least it's supposed to be there. So if I get a chance to be on iCarly,
I love Vince's like, I'll move somewhere so I can be on iCarly. Like that's my goal. All right,
listen, I'm already on a web show. Why not?
Vince, what's going on, Timmy? Vince, it's time. Let's run the intro because I got a story to get out of Kyle. So,
Okay, we're getting stuff out of Kyle. That's what we're doing. Okay, all right. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet, the Smackin It Raw podcast. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, not the patron of podcasting, Tommy, the Warden, Matt Ritter, and I am here with my co-hosts this evening. She is host of She Leads Showcase, Inside the Mind of, In the Crowd, Getting Off, and Story Time with Ms. Katie Kinsey, baby.
What up?
He is the Pornhub Poppy, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow, Daddy Delgado, my friend Vince.
What's up?
And ladies and gentlemen, making their return, back by popular demand, mostly from Vince and themselves, our favorite Winnipeggers. It's the Wallop Boys. How you guys doing?
Good. We apparently we got voted best guest last year, so we have a lot to do tonight.
To live up to?
Yeah.
High bar. Still #2 in Canada, eh? Still #2 in Canada?
Yeah, still #2 in Canada.
That's fair.
#2 in Canada, but #1 in our hearts.
I just had another Canadian OnlyFans model on at the beginning of the year, so maybe #3.
That's fair. Yeah,
Listen, take a
these
shirt
things
off
happen.
and we'll talk, and you might move up the rank.
Vince, you don't even take yours off, so I tell them
Shut
to.
up, this isn't about me. It's about
It's all
Canada.
about you. It's all about
We're
you.
going off the rails already.
The reason we are the #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet is I'm in the process of getting Travis to change where we host from Pornhub. I was telling Katie a little bit about it right before you guys hopped in. So with the changes that Pornhub has made, they require for us to upload videos, everyone that comes on to submit an ID verification to verify that they are of a certain age, blah, 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 which is damn near impossible to do when you bring on guests. Like, yeah, me and Vince, and I can get Katie to do it. That's no problem. But when I bring on guests, how do you go to a guest and be like, hey, I'd like you to be on the show. By the way, here's a website. Go here, submit your info to Pornhub, get verified. Like, it's a pain in the ass that I'm not going to make our guests jump through, especially for 1, maybe 2 visits a year, right? So we have to find an alternative because they're holding a bunch of our shit hostage and not letting us post it.
Motherfuckers.
Even though nobody on this show except for me has gotten naked. and I am verified.
I missed that.
Are you asking us to? I'm trying to clarify that statement.
I'm not telling you can't, Kyle. If you want to give us some of that great white north exposure, I'm all for it. I heard you guys are airdropping wolves and shit. So yeah, get them out.
Excuse me?
I beg your
I don't know. I
pardon.
was on TikTok and I watched this whole video where they were like, apparently Canada's like airdropping wolves, and they're like, why the fuck are you doing that? It's like, oh, so like we don't break rules of war and we don't commit war crimes, but a lot of the rules that are in place are because of us. And like it was a whole thing that like all the stuff Canada had done in like World War I, where like they gave Germany cans of food, and then after that Germany's like, oh, we need more, and then instead they threw grenades at them, like shit like that.
Oh my god!
That apparently I didn't know about Canada because I thought you guys were just peaceful as fuck and happy.
For the most part, we're all really stoned most of the time.
Yeah, now at this point, yeah, pretty much.
Of all the places to be held hostage, Shane, Pornhub is probably the one I prefer. However, I need them to just put our shit up. Like we call ourselves the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub, the #1 horror podcast on Pornhub, which you guys can come check out tomorrow at 11 p.m. for St. Patty's Day when we do Getting Off and cover the entire Leprechaun franchise because St. Patty's Day. But we can't do that if they don't let us upload new material. However, I will say our 2 Pornhub parody watch-alongs, Get Evil Head and the Texas Dildo Masquerade, have a combined 16,000 views on Pornhub, and they are our 2 most watched videos. So I'm happy about that because I beat out Travis's Dungeons and Dragons bullshit with 2 videos and by a lot.
You should do more of those.
Oh, dude, if they let us post the fucking content, Vince, I would. Did you not hear the whole beginning of the show?
Post it on TikTok or something.
God.
Post it on TikTok. Well, I talked to an OnlyFans model that we've worked with, and I had questions because I'm like, oh, maybe, like we could do like a $1 sub over on OnlyFans and I could drop them there. But apparently they're as strict, if not more strict, about stuff like that. So that's not a viable option. So I'm looking into places like maybe YouPorn or X Videos, X Hamster, stuff like that.
To X Hamster, it's a dying breed, but got me through.
Hamsters are dying?
It's number 2. I looked. It is number 2 right now, right under Pornhub.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never knew it was
sexy hamsters.
I thought we were talking
got the episode title really early today.
Sexy hamsters. Yes, we did.
I
want to thank everyone who's watching us live, whether you guys are watching us live at youtube.com/creationworld, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm and helps find new listeners.
That is correct. And why is that important to me, Vince?
Because you're a whore, Matthew.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Katie, why is that important to me?
Because you're a whore.
I wasn't going to let you not say it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am a whore. I am a whore for your likes, for your comments, for your views, for your attention. I will do anything. I got naked on the show. Like you only saw me naked from the waist up, but I was completely naked and no one knew.
I don't need to know this information, by the way.
I will do whatever it
visual
takes.
proof. I need visual aids.
One day, Vince. Maybe if we get that OnlyFans account up, I'll do whatever it is. And with that being said, we talked about liking, subscribing, commenting, boosting the algorithm, helping us find new listeners. The way our podcast grows, the way I continue to entertain you is by you sharing me around like the whore that I am. Introduce me to your mom, introduce me to your dad. Parents love me, by the way, despite the fact that I'm a whore. Brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, step family, whoever you think might enjoy me as much as you do, let them know about me. Let them know about Katie. Let them know about Vince. Let them know about the Wallop boys. Share us around. Spread the love. Trust me, we're contagious, but not like an STD. It's not going to burn when you pee. You're going to enjoy it. So with all of that said, while you're on YouTube, they got this little notification thing up top. We call it the bean. Flick that bean. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live, whether it is every Friday for the Creation Conversation with me, Travis, and Mara, every Saturday at 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern for this show, Smackin It Raw, or every other Sunday, 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern, as of now, for Getting Offed. You guys can also check us out at twitch.tv/creationworld, where if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. If you have Prime Gaming, you can link it to your Twitch account and get a free sub every month. So if you are watching us on Twitch right now and you are already paying for Amazon Prime and you have not done this, get on your computer, go do the thing, link the accounts, give us the sub. And if you don't give it to me, give it to Katie over at the She Leads Showcase because she does awesome shit over there. Our boys over on Twitch at Rivet City Radio, Botch Spots and Chair Shots, Off the Top Media, everything that Rivet City Radio does, they deserve your sub as well. You only get one free sub, but give it to a content creator that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, that brings you joy, that makes you want to enjoy and consume content, because you supporting them helps them continue to create the content that you enjoy. I think that's the things. That's the stuff, right?
Those are the things, yes.
Then Katie, before I give you the stage,
I was going to say,
Kyle,
a story to tell.
You have a story to tell us.
So, as it turns, my girlfriend, we actually just broke up, so that is a bit of sadness,
Your ex.
Yes,
Wow,
so my ex,
Rylan.
Yeah, I did.
Wow,
I
Rylan.
didn't know. I
Way
didn't
to
know.
go.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I apologize.
We're off to a wild start. She had messaged me because I had listened to the Christmas episode of our Wallop Media, our over under for holiday foods. Check that out if you want to. It was a lot of fun, and I had listened to it a while ago. I'd forgotten about it, some of the chaos that was involved in it, and so my girlfriend listened to it recently, and she messages me and tells me, "So I was listening to your podcast, and then all of a sudden they started talking about like wife sharing, about all of these different things, and it was very weird, and there was no transition between that and you talking about turkey. What was that about?" So apparently we had cut in different guests giving their holiday well wishes that have been on Wallop Media before, and so Matt Ritter, in his guest appearance, where he and the rest of the crew here talked for about 3 minutes about disliking cranberry sauce for the most part, but also managed to get in some references to hot wifing as well, which is very on brand and greatly appreciated. But our lack of a transition between the two got left some confusion, let's say.
Please tell me that the suggestion of, or the explanation of the difference between cuckolding versus hot wifing did not lead to the subsequent breakup that happened.
No, that is
Okay.
I would hope not.
I felt really bad for a second. He's like, she just listened to it and then dumped me.
Oh,
Was the line of logic that I got, and I was like, I hope I didn't fuck up a relationship from a podcast.
Would it be the first time, Matt?
It would not be. That's what I'm saying. I've stolen quite a few men from the people that they were with prior, and I didn't want Kyle to be the next.
You sound like Bobby Lashley with Rusev.
It is what it is.
Katie will talk about that, right?
I will talk about that.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that things didn't work out between you two. You are a lovely gentleman, and I have faith that you will meet a lovely lady who will share in all of your hot wifing fantasies. So, with that said,
You relax.
Much
If
appreciated.
not, I'll move to Canada and keep you company.
yeah, Vince will be your cuck queen, right? Like, anyway. Katie, news and rumors.
Yeah, I even changed the thing to move the fuck on. Jesus Christ.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Cedar Perry, formerly known as Lana, and Rusev, Miro, whatever you call him, announced that they are getting a divorce after being together for 7 years. She said they're still friends, and she hopes that they can work together again on screen, all that stuff. So, yeah, that happened this week.
Well, this is crazy because I think we talked about it almost a month ago now. She had posted something on social media before the Jericho cruise where she said something about being single on the Jericho cruise, and I brought it up, and I had I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I also may or may not have said silver lining. She has made it very clear that the only reason she hasn't done an OnlyFans is because Miro did not want her to, because husband, wife. So, I mean, out of this, maybe if that's something she wants to pursue, I have the extra funds monthly
You are.
We support sex workers. All right.
Shit. I know.
And my wife lets me subscribe to the wrestlers, just not people that I actually have a chance of speaking to on a regular basis in person. No, Lana has DM'd me personally once. So
I know she
No,
has.
I think
He's
that
holding on
counts
to
as
that for
someone
dear
you
life.
could
Oh,
run
man.
into. So it's someone that slid
I
into
know
your
that.
DMs, man. I don't think she's available.
she just slid in
anymore.
my DMs to tell me that she's a great actress and I shouldn't be talking shit. That's all it was.
You shouldn't have been talking shit, and she stood by that fact.
She had
That's
that movie that came out with Bruce Willis, and I tweeted something out, and like I got an actual DM from her, and she's like, the reason that the wrestling fans miss me is because I play such a great heel, because I'm such a great actress, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I absolutely agree. By the way, if you get a chance, I'd love to have you on the show. Never responded after that. Didn't hear back from her. So, you know.
You shot your shot. That's all that
Hey,
matters.
if
You
you guys get on OnlyFans, you never know.
right?
Yeah. Collab, Randy Orton was collab with John Cena, so anything's possible.
Ooh. All right, Katie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack your segment, news and rumors.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it at this point.
That's my thing.
Hall of Fame news. 2 more inductees from the last time we did a show. Muhammad Ali will be going in. And Thunderbolt Patterson will be going in. I did not know who that was. I had to Google and find tweets about it. But he is the reason that wrestlers have equal pay and rights. So good for him. And this is well deserved at this point.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
I was also one of like the masses who's like, oh, I thought Muhammad Ali was already in. I'm surprised he's not. So like celebrity wing, Muhammad Ali. I know the celebrity wing gets a lot of shit in the Hall of Fame for who's inducted and who isn't.
Put
and blah,
Cyndi
blah, blah,
Lauper in.
Put Cyndi Lauper in.
Take a couple people out.
Specifically an ex-president. Anyway,
Ugh.
Just X?
what else you got?
Sorry. I don't know.
Don't
Wow.
pay.
I don't.
If
Look,
everything goes well, yes,
This
just an
is what-
ex-president.
this is what we do in Canada. I am sorry.
Y'all don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
We do.
It's not your problem. So
Y'all are
it's
welcome to
them.
come here. We are welcome.
How's Trudeau doing?
All. He's still there. Keeps going.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they keep going. I don't know.
Oh my god.
SummerSlam, August 3rd, takes place in the land of Cleves, Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland,
Ohio. It's about 2 hours from me. I may or may not be stopping in. Who knows? I got Mania to pay for it. We'll see.
I know Marks with Mikes is out there. I know Dom from Powerbomb Juice Suit's out there. So we got some friends over there in the highs of O.
Haley's from Ohio.
Are they
It
doing
was
the
from
football
Ohio.
stadium there?
yeah, the Cleveland Browns stadium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah, like the
nobody's
Rocket
winning.
Mortgage, whatever.
it's like 5 hours for me. That's not that bad of a drive.
WrestleMania
But-
41, no SummerSlam, right? SummerSlam, no winners, all no DQ, all DQ matches.
SummerSlam.
Mhm.
Well, Alexa Bliss is from Ohio. She may or may not show up at the show if she is Gucci. No, I do not. Stop spreading rumors.
Katie Fat Stacks. That's what I
No.
heard.
Guys, I'm going to every show many week. I have no money.
It is because you have money that you're going to every show many a week.
All I know is
No.
Katie's
money,
OnlyFans
Katie.
is popping off, and if you want to know what it is, DM her.
Okay. I'm going to move on.
We're full off the rails.
It's okay. We never were on.
No, that's fair.
We don't know what those are.
He's like sitting in the cash.
So
Sorry.
Shayna Baszler is going to compete at GCW's Bloodsport. This is, I think, the first time someone who's currently in WWE is going to participate in this. I guess Josh Barnett contacted Triple H, and they have good working terms. So he said, yeah, sure, go ahead. She's probably not going to be the only one, but she is the first one. So that's fucking cool because, like, she has that MMA, UFC type background, so why not throw her in this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
True.
I think it's cool.
Me too.
I actually, so Katie, you know how I say I only have good ideas?
Uh-oh.
No, listen, all seriousness, right? I joked, said you had an OnlyFans. Obviously, you don't. Please do not DM Katie. Do not blow her up. Do not send her anything. She does not. But if you did, the stuff that we've seen you post on Twitter, nothing more, just that stuff, plus with an article of something that you've written on wrestling for every post. So, like, you have the picture, and then you have the article, and then they'll have to pay to read your work and see the picture. Like, I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
Conversation
We'll see.
for the post show.
I only have good
We'll
ideas.
see what happens. Tommy's all about it. No surprise there. The final thing I have, and this breaks Matt's heart specifically. So Darby Allin broke his foot. I believe it was 3 toes. Now, for those who were unaware, Darby was supposed to climb Everest in 10 days, right? Now he has a broken foot after his back was just holding on by silly putty after everything that's been going on. So now he cannot climb Everest. Will be out for a while. But Matt has a specific reason as to why he is upset about this.
So when I heard Darby Allin was climbing Everest, we did our Deadpool at the beginning of the year, and we get to pick one person of an age like younger, 20s, 30s, so on and so forth.
Younger than 50.
And I was like, oh shit, wild card, easy. Darby Allin's climbing fucking Everest, right? That I'm good. Now there goes my fucking wild card, right? Now he's pushing it till next year. There's no chance. I mean, outside of anything stupid he might do in AEW between when he heals and then, but like surefire shot him climbing Everest was a higher possibility, and now my wild card's all shot.
Is he a mountaineer at all? Like they keep talking about this. Does he climb other mountains, or is he just like
No, he's just a dumb white kid who wants to do stupid shit. We have a lot of those around here.
Matt, you should have cut a promo a la Santos Escobar towards Rey Mysterio. You should have been like, I hope the surgery doesn't go well. I hope you get an infection and you die, and then you still get your point from your Deadpool.
Well, I made it very clear last week when we had. Yeah, I was gonna say I made it very clear last week that, in all honesty, I hope he makes it back safely. But should he not, cha-ching.
Now that was a sign from the fucking gods.
Yeah,
an intervention.
I have an Austin theory that I don't think he ever really planned to climb Everest.
No, he definitely.
And he knew he had this footage.
Things match. Like he was gonna climb that mountain.
Like he had that foot injury, and they kept working on it. So it made me just be little Dale Gribble conspiracy theorist and be like, they're writing him off from Mount Everest, so he doesn't look like a scaredy cat. Like he punked out, That's just my theory.
He literally landed on his foot and his toes snapped.
He probably did it on purpose. He probably purposely tried to snap his toes so he wouldn't climb Everest.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
It's my theory.
What else you got, Katie?
That was it.
See, Jesus agrees with me. Darby proceeded out of climbing Mount Everest. There you go. Not the only one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that news and rumors is over, I guess it is that time for that part of the show that everyone is here for, where we spit or swallow. Thank you, Vince or Katie, whichever one got that up. Good job, Katie.
Thanks.
Seeing as I may or may not have caused the end of his relationship, Kyle.
Oh God. No worries on that front. I am swallowing absolutely everything to do with Mercedes Mone this week, making her glorious AEW debut. I was excited to see it. Big crowd in Boston, fully behind her, was really cool to see. Her promo was very earnest and heartfelt. Her outfit was absolute. Both of them were very much on point. Got to see her with her hit her finisher, which was great to see. Seems to have a program and a direction right away. I am rarely optimistic about AEW's booking of their women's division. because every time I'm optimistic, they go ahead and fuck it up. But I'll say this. Sasha Banks in WWE was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Had some of the best matches. Have some of the greatest matches with basically everybody on the roster. Tony Khan, if you mess this up, I will come for you.
You will, don't worry.
That is not a threat. That is a spoiler.
I agree. I have it as well. Like, I don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that there are weird fucking wrestling fans out there. We know that, right? Like, so the people that were like, oh, because Tamina and Bailey and Naomi, I think, all went and watched Sasha debut. Like, her friends were there for her, and I saw some post from some guy who was like, you think friendship is more important than serving WWE? Yes, it is. Just because you 100%. Have no fucking friends doesn't mean it's not important to people who do.
Also, can you imagine? Like, I can't go to my friend's event because my job said it wasn't okay. Like,
like fuck that job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Weird fucking fans out there, right? Like, I was happy that they did it because, like, we all knew what big business was. It wasn't a fucking secret, right? So, like, they got her out there right away. I saw people, they should have saved it and they should have teased it the whole show.
It's the same thing they did with Punk at First Dance.
Just
bust that fucking nut right away. Get her out there. Let's go. And they did. And I gave Tony Khan props. And I don't often give Tony Khan props for much. I did for this. I am with you because I also saw she's just there for the money. No shit, she's there for money. That's what a job is. No one goes to do work without getting paid happily. No one quits a job that they were getting paid well to just go and work for free for shits and giggles. We all have bills to pay, taxes, bullshit. Maybe not. Well, no, in Canada, you guys have more taxes because you guys actually have free healthcare.
Try it. It's really good.
I bet it is.
I would not know. I wouldn't know.
So, like, you get her out there. She comes out. She says what she says about wanting to be there, about starting the women's revolution in WWE and wanting to do that around the world. She has the freedom to do that and work for other companies in AEW. Also, hopefully, be a focal point of AEW and really kick off in a way because they have a lot of very talented women. And only a handful of them are getting a spotlight on a weekly basis. Hopefully this starts to even things out because I'm not going to lie, maybe not to some of you people who watch New Japan and ROH and all these things, but a lot of the people that you're putting on my TV on a regular basis are kind of fucking boring, and I'd rather watch the women. So maybe, like, instead of giving me a Jericho Hook segment, let's put fucking any of the women on the roster there. And again, that's not a shot at Canada. That's just a shot at Jericho.
We know. We know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, like, here's the thing. With Kenny hurt, it's Jericho and Callis representing Winnipeg, and we are not happy about this.
No. Not at all.
Anyone else's?
I want to swallow Will Ospreay's promo. Like, that guy looked like.
Well, it's not your turn yet, Kate. No, I'm kidding. Rylan spinning.
You rocked me.
Okay.
No. Will Ospreay looked like a star, and we've known by watching his in ring that he's fantastic. But man, that promo was absolutely phenomenal. We need a bruv counter for Will Ospreay.
Bruv. Okay.
All right.
Someone will do it now that it's out there in the ether.
I know Katie enjoys Will Ospreay's theme music.
His theme is so good. It's a fucking banger. It's on my playlist.
The only thing I have against Will Ospreay is the fact that he pretends to be the leader of the United Empire or whatever the fuck they call his faction when it's really the Great Okan. Neither here nor there. But no, like, the guy, like you said, it was a great fucking promo. The guy can fucking wrestle. He can go. He is a get for AEW big time, which I don't think anyone was surprised he decided to go and stay there because that's where he's been doing his shit. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing what entertaining shit he can bring to AEW.
Absolutely.
Great time. Just saying.
Yes.
Vince, would you like to go next?
If you allow it, sure.
You're learning. You're so smart. Vince, better swallow. He's not falling into these traps anymore.
I'm just gonna get it out of the way. We were talking about blowing our loads early, just like Tony Khan did. So I'm gonna blow my Judgment Day load early, and I'm gonna swallow everything associated with Judgment Day. I loved it. Damian Priest, he was pissed. He took out his aggression against our truth, started truth, but they needed to start building up Damian Priest, and he needs to get a really good win. That was a win he needed. They announced the tag team gauntlet 6-pack ladder match, Stairway to Heaven, whatever it was a long-winded way of saying the 6 tag team ladder match.
6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. That was literally it.
It was a mouthful still. It's a pack that I didn't want to unpack, you know. But yeah, they're gonna put emphasis on those tag titles. Wrestling Bros Pod, they better have 2 different teams grab belts in that title match. Everybody's been calling for that, and I'm totally cool with that. And even if they don't do that, I'd be okay with it as long as they unify those as single belts on one brand, and then give SmackDown or Raw another brand similar to what they did with Seth in the world title. But I liked what they did, and specifically the main thing, and the main reason I'm swallowing Ripley invited Andrade El Idolo to have a small face-to-face interaction. They said, hey, Dom speaks highly of you. Well, he's not here this week, obviously, because the homie's out there on the honeymoon. Congrats to him. And they said that when Dom comes back, let's talk business. Would you be interested in that? Andrade says yes. And Finn Balor, obviously, we know he has a taste for Mexicans, given that he married one. So he's like, I agree with Dom. He's he holds up based on his work in NXT. And the only one that didn't seem like too enthused was Damian Priest. Maybe it's because he's Puerto Rican and like he likes being the soul. Like I think maybe there's like a Latino like percentage that Damian Priest might want in Judgment Day to keep. Maybe that's why he wasn't so enthused. But yeah, I like what they're doing. I like that they're doing something interesting with Andrade and not just doing no favors by just putting on matches on Raw. So they are teasing the story. Either it's going to be him joining or him feuding with the Judgment Day. So I'm enjoying everything. So tag titles, Judgment Day teasing me with Andrade. All good stuff.
I think JD McDonough brings down the Latino percentage enough that you can find a way to make it work. Just by himself.
Fair.
True. But then Rhea brings it all the way up.
Have you seen her? Come on.
Listen, I'm not saying it's true, Wrestling Bros, but a lot of Puerto Ricans hate Mexicans and vice versa. We shouldn't. We should all just love each other like we love Canada, but you know, it's not the case.
I mean, look at Legato versus LWO. It all started because
it all started.
Wasn't there a whole thing about Dom's parentage between? I guess there's a history to this. All I'm saying.
Yes, there is.
Yes. I don't know if you know this, but Dominic Mysterio is hypothetically, through kayfabe, the nephew of the greatest wrestler in the world, Chavo Guerrero. So,
might as well be
Katie Spitter Swallow. I'm not even gonna.
He might be.
Yeah. Okay. I am swallowing everything Trick Williams and Lash Legend on NXT. That's my shit. This became a whole fucking soap opera when it didn't even need to be. Trick comes out talking his shit to Mello about Mello because Mello wasn't there. And it was absolutely hysterical. It was amazing. Well done, Trick. And then Metaphor comes out for whatever reason. But I approve of the reason because we got a little something with Lash and Trick. They made out in the middle of the ring. I am happy. That's all that matters. And they're together in real life. So, like,
are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad you broke that down because, as I told you, I was a little distracted. I was reading spicy novels that my wife had suggested to me, specifically this one called Sparrow. So, like, at that point in the show, I had looked down. I was really into the novel. I looked up, and all of a sudden, Trick is like making out with Lash and beating the shit out of Metaphor. And I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? I put it down as a swallow, but it was a swallow as a question mark because I needed to know what I missed to make that transpire. So now I know. Thank you, Katie.
My favorite thing that happened this week.
My favorite thing that happened this week is what's about to happen because I'm here to start a fucking fight. I am spitting the fact that they gave us an incredible Chad Gable redemption story package only for Sami Zayn to become #1 contender for the IC title, because I don't know about our Canadian brethren. I have a feeling at least one of them doesn't agree with me, but there was nobody in that gauntlet that I wanted to see win more than Chad Gable after that story. Gunther, hold on, before you go, as a father, Gunther made his child cry, right? He deserves the redemption, but neither here nor there. Spitting the fact that Chad Gable didn't win the gauntlet.
Go ahead, Rylan.
Listen. I like Chad Gable. I honestly was pushing for Chad Gable to beat Gunther in September. But up until recently, Chad Gable really hasn't been, like since that loss, up until this Mania push here, we haven't heard much about Chad Gable wanting to get that IC title back, from what I remember anyway. Sami Zayn's been doing these promos, and honestly, last year, Sami Zayn kind of got pushed to the side and Cody got the spot at Mania, and Sami Zayn got the tag belts in a main event match, and that's great. But like, I think beating Gunther has become a thing where you really want the right person to do it. And I'm not saying that Chad Gable isn't the right person to do it. I'm just saying post Mania,
I'll say Chad Gable's not the right person to do it.
Shut the fuck up, Vince. Let him talk.
All right. I just think, number one, Sami Zayn is a character that, like, ultimate babyface, and he does deserve this. He definitely does deserve this. And honestly, I'm more excited for a post-Mania heel turn with Alpha Academy because I think they're good heels. I think they've proven that. You could argue that it could be Sammy that goes heel post-Mania and fights a babyface Chad Gable, but I think Sami Zayn's better in that role as a babyface. Oh, Kyle, go ahead. Go ahead.
Many bad. So Sami Zayn needs to turn heel again.
No, I didn't. No,
I'm wrestling Daniel Bryan on
I said Chad Gable. Chad Gable turns heel post WrestleMania.
That's not better. Chad Gable is such a baby face. Otis, they've had him miscast as a heel forever. If we're going to keep the Alpha Academy thing going, here's the thing. I am a huge fan of Sami Zayn. I was one of the people last year who said, forget this whole Cody thing. The story was Sammy. The answer was Sammy. Do it through Sammy. And it is especially hard, given that they didn't even book Cody to freaking win, that Sammy got shoved to the side. However, WWE, it is WrestleMania. If you're going to tell stories and set up stories that are supposed to be going in a specific way, finish the
story.
I have complained about Triple H's booking style for a while, that he has a tendency to let stories go on for way longer than they have any business going on. It was a problem in NXT. It remains a problem here. And this is a situation where you set up a story, and then instead of that, you go back to this Sammy thing. Sammy and Gunther have basically nothing to do with each other. The match will be great, don't get me wrong, but it's a Gunther match. Gunther has great matches with everybody. That's just what he does.
Yeah.
Like, we were saying that Gunther versus Chad Gable wouldn't be great. Of course it would. It's been great.
I just love that Ryland's whole... He said Chad Gable's wanted nothing to do with the IC title until this came up, right? Sami Zayn didn't want shit to do with the IC title either. He just wanted a match at WrestleMania. He didn't give a fuck what it was. He would have wrestled Johnny Knoxville again as long as he got on the card, and he just stumbled fucking into this thing. At
Johnny
least Chad
Knoxville
had a
didn't seem so bad.
reason. Listen,
It
I will
feels
say
like-
this.
Sorry,
I
was just
don't
gonna say,
hate
it feels-
Sami Zayn like some of our friends do. However, I do feel like Sami Zayn is kind of like your Ricky Steamboat, that perennial kind of character that plays a really great babyface that doesn't actually ever need to win the title to be relevant and have a name for himself. I also feel like Chad Gable could very well be our next Kurt Angle if they ever give him the fucking push. And
Boy,
beating
it's almost
Gunther
as
could have
though-
been that push.
It's almost as though there was a storyline they did with Kurt Angle where he had a child
Hey.
at
Illegitimate
some point in
child?
time, and
Hey.
there was a person on the roster sitting right there who had Olympic experience who could have been that child, but instead they had to do My Black Son on Monday Night
Oh my
Hey.
god. Okay.
I know. Wait, Katie's been waiting. I know she's been waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole fight that I want to start was between Rylan and Katie. So let's let Katie.
Oh, because this man said to me earlier that we were on fight about this, which is fair. I hear you. I see you. You're wrong. Because Chad Gable had that story for fucking months. This man should have beat Gunther the last time, and he didn't. He is the only person recently to technically beat Gunther via his count out or DQ. I don't remember which one.
I think it was
So-
now.
Boom. Pushed. I'm pretty sure his shoulders were not even on the mat during that pin. So someone checked the tapes on that bullshit. It's just like Matt was saying, you had this beautiful like vignette about Chad Gable talking about his daughter and everything, and just Gunther made her cry. That's disrespectful. That's dishonor. And Chad Gable, again, I talked about it earlier, underutilized, underappreciated, can fucking go.
So
Stalin
was Sami
suplex,
Zayn,
one of the
though.
best in the game. Sami Zayn, oh, what are you talking about?
Underutilized.
Sami Zayn was just in the main event of WrestleMania last year, was he not?
Yeah,
was
but
Chad Gable?
again, I
Shouldn't
don't
have been.
disagree with you on that. I don't disagree with you on that. But Sami
would there be
Zayn's been
value in the triple
underutilized for
threat?
years. Yeah, I was going to ask. Would we be okay with the triple threat?
See, that's what I originally thought they were going to do, but then they have a triple threat for the U.S. title, so I don't know if they're going to do two triple threats for the both mid-card titles.
I mean, might as well just do some symmetry there.
I mean, if before SmackDown rolled around and they were like, oh yeah, these two and fucking Logan Paul, I was like, yeah,
MD.
triple threat. Let's go. Gable's going to win.
Maxine Dupree.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Never. Just my 2
We'll
cents.
talk
here.
about her.
I would have rather seen Chad Gable because I'm more excited for him as a wrestler than I am Sami Zayn as a wrestler currently. The last time I cared about him was when he was the honorary Uce going into that match in Elimination Chamber versus Roman Reigns, and ever since then I haven't really cared. I've soured on him quite a bit because his tag team title run with Kevin Owens was very lackluster in my opinion. They really weighed down those tag titles after the Usos really elevated them. No shot against Canada. Love you guys specifically. But also, I don't feel like Chad Gable nor Sami Zayn, regardless of who was going to be there, I don't think there was an answer of who was going to beat Gunther for that IC title at Mania. I don't think either men are the answer. And as much as I love Chad Gable, I don't think he'll be the man to break that streak. Because he's reached Roman Reigns levels. He's reached that God mode that Roman was talking about 2 years ago. That's where Gunther is right now. And who beats him for this IC title matters. And as much as I would like to see them...
Are you saying Chad Gable does not matter?
Does not matter in terms of... Like, it should have been Jey Uso. I honestly think Jey Uso was the only one that just kind of like made sense for him to beat
No,
Gunther.
because he has other things happening with his brother.
Again, like I said, it's not going to happen at WrestleMania. Gunther's not dropping that title, whether it's a triple threat or a fatal 4-way or a 6-pack challenge, whatever the fuck they decide to do with it. I think Gunther needs to lose that title, like, to someone that's actually going to be elevated to the main event picture, which could be main event Jey Uso.
I will accept one thing and one thing only. I will accept Sami Zayn defeating Gunther and taking the IC title if and only if when Kevin Owens does not win the US title
Scopes him
on night 1, he shows up on night 2 after Sami Zayn wins and gives us an NXT repeat and powerbombs the fuck out of that man on the apron because he's pissed off that Sammy did what he couldn't. Then I'd be okay.
That's like eating leftovers 3 days in a row after you first served it on Monday and it's now Thursday. It's
Sammy's best role is
they're so good against each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Underdog to heel Kevin Owens.
I've seen it too many times though. I'm not interested in it right now. It's like if they were to split up DIY and do Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, I would not care anymore.
You know what's gonna happen.
Oh, I'd absolutely care because it'd be way more entertaining whatever the fuck they're doing now.
Regeneration
X.
Regenerating themselves. You know? Just like Goku and the Ciampa pods.
Give me heel Ciampa back.
All
right, Rylan, spit or swallow?
I'm gonna spit. Why are you crying, Cody? Stop crying. It's the worst look for that character, and The Rock's already calling your fans crybabies. I love Cody. Don't get me wrong, and I love his promos, especially. Yeah, but you know what? Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop feeding The Rock material. He doesn't need it. He's the fucking Rock.
Cody Rhodes promo. He talks about America, his dead dad, and cries about his family. This is what we get. This is what you get.
That man loves his mother.
How dare he love his mother?
No, I just
all I've heard is Rylan is anti-loving your mom or
my mom's watching
your daughter.
Like
my mom is watching.
Oh boy!
Shout out Mama Turner.
Swallow. Cody breaks down crying about what winning means to him. The story is beyond him, but it's up to him, and he can't wait to hand that belt to his mother. As a mama's boy, it touched my soul. As a father of a daughter, Chad Gable's story touched my soul. I don't know when you sold your soul, Ryan, but we can get it back so that you can feel these emotions and join the rest of us in a happy place at WrestleMania.
Oh, don't get me wrong. When he wins, I'm going to be very happy. But like, I don't know. Out of all the stuff that they're throwing at the wall with this Rock, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns clusterfuck that they're doing, I felt his promos are strong. I just don't think he needs to cry because it feels forced for me. It feels forced. That's why. Like he's talking normally, and all of a sudden he's all Mama Rhodes, and it just does
Mama
nothing
Rubio.
for me.
Yeah, in fairness, Rock was referring to her as Mama Rhodes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Except for the one
I
time
just thought it was. I just thought it was like.
Sorry.
No, finish, please.
He slipped up and called him Mama Rain, or called her Mama Reigns at one point too, which was hilarious.
What a gracious host. Man, let you finish.
I always let them finish first. I just assumed, I saw you a little while ago. We had a little chat, and then you showed up. You slicked back the hair. You put on a suit coat. You're from fucking Winnipeg. I was like, oh, he's on here with a heel manager persona from Winnipeg. He's even smoking cigarettes. So
yeah,
I had a feeling this is where we were going today, and I'm good.
Where was the coat jacket last time we saw each other with the slick back? Like,
no, he didn't.
I wasn't ready.
He wasn't dressed up for you, Vince.
He was in the hoodie. He literally just woke up. He's like, I've had White Claws for breakfast, and that's all I've had in this system.
It's going full Canadian Heenan on us.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take Canadian Heenan.
What's up, Tino? Shout out. Oh man,
Jesus has the same rated R shirt.
Dig it. I'm with Rylan in the sense that I'm not really feeling the promo, like how it's connecting, because I just care about the match itself between Cody and Roman. So any detour that Cody takes to talk about The Rock, or any time we give to The Rock to build up this tag match, because like I said last week, I think the tag match is irrelevant whether Team Cody wins or Bloodline wins, at the end of the day, we're still going to get the Cody match versus Roman. And that's the match I cared about. This match, if it does main events, I might just have it as background noise. Like, because I think it's a foregone conclusion, regardless of who wins. The results on night 2, it's more than likely going to be Cody.
Yeah,
winning.
but the stipulation matters, Vince. The storytelling matters.
It's going to be an
Cody going to
overbooked
be
match.
behind? Is Cody going to be behind the 8 ball in a Bloodline rules match, or is he going to have the wind beneath his wings, free of the Bloodline, ready to face Roman Reigns 1-on-1? No issues, no problems, no nothing. Beat that man, hand the belt to his mama, have a good cry, make everyone happy. So, like, the story matters.
You know what it is? You know what this tag match is? It's like anime filler in Dragon Ball Z, and then Goku versus Frieza is Roman Reigns versus Cody. That's the match I want to watch.
I don't think you remembered Goku versus Frieza. The whole thing was filler. Like, that Dragon Ball Z was like 90% filler.
No, I'm talking about like filler, like Goku and Piccolo learned how to drive. That kind of filler. Like, that's what this feels like to me. Irrelevant to the plot, to me, in my opinion. But I digress.
Mr. Joseph, please spit or swallow.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this after what we were just talking about, but I do have to say that I do agree with Vince in one respect, and that is I am going to be the game changer that I am. I am going to be gargling something.
Oh, okay.
I am swallowing Uso versus Uso at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be a great match. I'm super looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, hotly contested. Give them 15 minutes and go ham on it. I'm spitting the no stakes. That one feels like it needs a belt. I get that it is brother versus brother. I get the whole, this is all about family and everything like that, which doesn't quite work when, the other one that's all about family is not, because Roman Reigns is still holding that freaking title. The IC belt being in this spot, I feel like would have elevated this match. And without it, it's still going to be good, but it's one of those matches that also feels like it's not as quite as high up on the WrestleMania card as some of the other stuff that's going on.
So you're telling me the idea that Jey Uso was literally milliseconds away from dethroning Roman Reigns, and his brother, who convinced him to turn in the first place, came in and fucked him over, then fucked him out of the IC title. All of these things is not story enough to hold a match on its own for them to beat the shit out of each other after everything that they've been through and all of the back and forth.
I don't think it has the gravitas that Kyle wants.
I think that, because this to me, speaking of things that could have main evented, this to me could have been the main event of night 1, and probably still ought to be. Where I'll get to that stuff later.
We're completely on different spectrums there.
But this doesn't feel. I feel not that it's going to be bad. I wish there could be more.
We have time. We've got weeks.
They might add a stipulation to it. They don't do a lot of stipulation matches at Mania anymore. I wouldn't mind this one being one. Please not
on a pole match.
Oh God!
When they're actually gets to see their father on a regular basis.
If Jimmy shows up and beats Jay bloody, and then they give us a first blood match, and it's all about the bloodline in a first blood match,
that would be good. But
this man the pen, right?
I don't think they'll do it because I don't think they want. I know blood happens, but I don't think they've made a point of letting blood sort of be a thing.
Pussies.
Mr. Delgado.
Yes.
Spit or swallow.
I'm going to finish the rest of my load and get the rest of my Latinos out there. Shout out LWO. They got the win on NXT. They advanced to that triple threat to be number 1 contenders versus the Wolf Dogs. Holler if you hear me. And then over on SmackDown, we got 2 Latino matches, which I loved. We got LWO again taking on Legado del Fantasma. The winner advancing the bracket for the SmackDown. One of the two
Paquete de
brackets.
Lobos.
Paquete de Lobos. My bad. My apologies. Paquete de Lobos versus LWO. And they got dub there. Then we move on later on to the show. We got Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. Dragon Lee fucking cooked Santos Escobar, and that motherfucker had like a finisher stored when the match started, and that's the only reason he fucking won. Because Dragon Lee was cooking him, murdering him. He was taking out Legado all by himself. Angel, Humberto, Santos, they were all getting that work. Then he took that pin from the Phantom Driver. Rey Mysterio showed up with fresh ink. I noticed some stuff right here on the chest. I'm always looking at Rey Mysterio's chest. But apparently he also had the WrestleMania logo right here on his arm. The one where he whipped Dominic, like the father he should have been a few years ago. Neither here nor there. Setting up Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar on SmackDown next week. So I'm just swallowing all the Latino content we got on 2 nights of wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I purposely don't take Latino notes because I don't want to steal Vince's thunder. Anytime LWO Legado comes out, I see Andrade, Dom. I'm like, Vince has got that covered. I don't need to.
It's the same thing I do with Chad Gable. I see Chad Gable. I thought, Katie will write this down in detail. Like, I don't need to.
The part that sucks is I don't do it, and then occasionally, if like I forget that Katie needs to be off, or like you say, "Oh, I can't make it," then I'm like, "Fuck!" I kind of did want to have that covered, and I didn't take any notes, and I don't remember what the fuck happened. But not here nor there. It'll go Katie, it'll go me, it'll go ad break, and then we'll start the circle jerk again. So Katie, spit or swallow.
Gross. Okay. I'm spitting Xfinity internet package, and here's why. So I'm sitting here Wednesday night, they're on Dynamite, 8 o'clock, let's go. Mercedes comes out. I'm like, oh my god, yo, the boots, beautiful. The fit was gorgeous, top tier. I hear like a little bit of promo. She's pouring her heart out, and my TV freezes. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I missed the entirety of Dynamite because my cable was out. And no, I did not go back and watch it because I was mad. So I know bits and pieces of what happened on Dynamite because, I could still go on my phone without internet, whatever. So, yeah, I was pleasantly pissed off on a Wednesday night. So, Xfinity, fuck you.
Yeah, go fuck you, Xfinity. That's why I switched over to AT&T when I moved.
AT&T? What the fuck?
Well, and Melissa already had AT&T, so
we have Xfinity for our phones. So, like, it's all there, but whatever.
I got T-Mobile for my phone, so there's no benefit.
Now, despite the negativity from the Canadian side / Vince on some of the stuff that we've already talked about, I'm swallowing the Rock concert because, before we go any farther, of a few reasons. One being something I said last week. I know a lot of people aren't big on the Rock coming back and, bringing back kind of 1998 Rock, but also Hollywood Rock heel shit. And they're like, oh, it's played out and it doesn't work, blah, blah. But as I said, when I go see a band from the fucking 90s, I want to hear them play their hits. I don't want to hear them play new shit. And then The Rock did a fucking concert, and I'm like, oh my God, you are just playing the fucking hits. On top of that, he mentioned sleeping with someone in the crowd in Tennessee. He also said probably my favorite line of the week, which was drugs and cheap condoms was a bad combination, in reference to Dusty Rhodes and why Cody Rhodes even exists. The Rock calls himself the final boss. I took exception to that because Meiko Satomura exists.
Sure.
I thought she was there for a second, but neither here nor there. Then delivers a message to Mama Rhodes. The only belt she's getting is the one covered in her son's blood, the Rock's belt, which then inspired a whoop that trick chant. And I wasn't sure if the crowd was talking about Mama Rhodes or Cody Rhodes. Either way, interested.
I assumed it was Cody because whenever Cody got brought up, he got booed. So Memphis was a very heels.
It's because
centric.
It's where Rock got his start,
Flex Kavana.
About that segment, so I was like kind of paying attention, but not really paying attention because I'm kind of fucking over The Rock. He was talking about me. It's me that doesn't like this. Apparently, some lady flashed The Rock, and that's why the screen went black for a few seconds.
And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have cell phones now. This isn't the 90s where like you needed a fucking Polaroid at the where's the fucking footage? Where's the unedited footage on Reddit or wherever? I need it. And if you guys have seen it, tag me at Matt Ritter on Twitter.
No, I haven't seen it, but that is what I keep seeing happen. I didn't even know the screen went black for a few seconds. I wasn't paying attention that hard. Just want to throw it out there.
Put it on Reddit, whoever's got it. But yeah, no. Cheap condoms and what was it? I want to get right. Drugs and cheap condoms was a bad combination. Yes. Yeah. No, I love that line. It's my favorite heel line I've heard all week. And there were a lot of good ones. So thoughts from Canada?
Yeah.
You're not in Canada, Vince.
Not yet. Not yet. I didn't care for the music so much. The promo afterwards, I thought it was really good. I like this like kind of like sickening heel Rock. I liked the entrance. Can we just talk about that for a sec?
That's
just the
the only
lightning, and
good
then he's
thing
just
about it.
standing there. I don't think The Rock at WrestleMania is a bad idea, but like if he's wrestling a tag match and then a manager, I wonder what the point was. Like we could have saved this.
Well, no, the point is he's going to turn on Reigns in the main event and make Cody even more irrelevant, and then we're going to get Reigns and Rock at SummerSlam. And then Katie will have to go see Reigns and Rock at some main eventing SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want to fucking say.
The Rock's going to Cleveland, y'all. But no, like feels like what this is setting up to me, because otherwise I don't know what the point of all this like. And this is what I don't get. WWE, you knew you were getting The Rock. Heck, we're getting The Rock more than we're getting Roman, and if I'm not mistaken, Roman still has the championship. Am I correct in this?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Is it interesting that you refer to yourself as the final boss when, in point of fact, he's not the last person Cody's going to be facing? It will be the actual final boss. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they wanted The Rock to do the promo work to do the work for this match, which is fine because he's a great talker. And I thought that the promo stuff was good. I think his character's good. It just doesn't make me more interested in Cody versus Roman, which I think is the point of this. And that's my problem with this.
Isn't that one of the original thesis statements I had to begin this episode? Is that I don't care about the Rock stuff, the tag match. I just care about Roman versus Cody, and nothing Rock is doing is helping elevate that.
Much like my favorite pastime with my wife, planting seeds, ladies and gentlemen, is the goal here, right? We are planting seeds for Roman Rock in the future. We are planting seeds for the future of the Ritter household on a regular basis. These are things that happen that are good things that we should be excited about and not upset about, right? Just a thing.
I agree.
Plant those seeds.
No, I've been anti-Rock since 2013. So
maybe we'll get Rock versus Roman in France. Maybe that's what we'll get.
Vince, Vince, if you go over to patreon.com/Creation World, you won't have to hear about The Rock because we're talking WCW 1998. The Rock wasn't there. Return to Wrestling, Matt and Travis, $1 tier. You get Return to Wrestling. Our latest episode, which we are actually recording tomorrow morning, is Road Wild 1998 main event. Diamond Dallas Page and Jay Leno versus Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan, as well as a bunch of other crazy shit that happened at this point in time.
God bless you.
So come tune in and join us. For that same dollar, you also get Multiverse with Travis Amara, where they break down the DC animated universe and all of their movies. Everyone always tells me the best thing about the DC universe is the animated films. So if you are a fan of DC animated films, this is the show for you. And last but not least, third show, $1. Mind you, you also get all the back catalogs for everything we've done for all these other shows. But the third show that you get for $1 over at patreon.com, if you have to ask, with me and my wife, Kate, where we do Am I the Asshole post and give you a little insight into our relationship. Things that I say here, I will not say in front of her because she'll call me out or hit me. So if you want that kind of entertainment, come join us. Katie was on our very latest episode. She joined us. We had a fucking blast. All that's available for $1. If you guys move up and check out the other tiers by clicking that link and going to patreon.com/creationworld, we have more to offer you, including this show ad-free. However, we have awesome sponsors, and if you are watching us live, Travis is here to tell you about them. So, without further ado, if someone would pull that off for me.
I don't have that.
Travis, take it away.
Y'all, I know we're having a lot of fun right now, but I actually want to talk to you about something very important: your health. You see, life is full of twists and turns, and that's why having the right health insurance matters. I want to make sure you have the coverage you need without breaking the bank, and that starts with speaking to me for absolutely no charge. Having health insurance isn't just about doctor visits, though. It's about living a healthier, happier life. Physical health and mental well-being go hand in hand, and that's why the plans I represent cover not just the physical, but the mental aspects of your health as well. And here's the deal: I'm very good at what I do. So not only can I find you the perfect plan, but I might even be able to get you one for free. That's right, free advice and a free plan. Your health is too important to compromise. So let's chat, find the right and ensure your well-being. Just visit health.creationworld.com today to schedule a free consultation. The link is right here in the description. That's health.creationworld.com. Your health, your future.
And we're back. So I believe after I swallowed the rock concert that we are on Rylan. Rylan, spit or swallow.
Okay, I'm going to swallow Shibata and Danielson. I mean, just the idea that this match can happen in 2024, I think that's fantastic, and it was fantastic. Big Shibata fan. Love to see that he's actually able to, finish his career the way he wants to. Danielson's fantastic. Nigel McGuinness on commentary is phenomenal. So, yeah, I'm swallowing all of Shibata and Danielson.
It was a really good
Are you
fucking
growing
match.
weed, Tommy?
I think Tommy's growing weed, yes.
I think Tommy's growing weed.
Well,
Match was fucking crazy. Like, that started Collision. And that was a good fucking start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
I did not watch Collision.
I tried to watch.
I was not one of the people who was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Blah blah blah. I need to watch this right away because I'm not a New Japan guy, right? So the hype wasn't there for me. I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm glad other people are happy about it. I'm not going to take away their happiness just because I'm not excited for it. I'm not that kind of person. So I'm happy you're happy.
But
I will
Ciabatta
side
bread.
swallow.
I
Ciabatta bread, yes.
I was actually looking forward to that match. I get the hype between Shibata versus Bryan Danielson. I get even the promo that he cut later on when he's doing the Shibata cross things in the backstage area, where both men were both medically disqualified from pro wrestling, and then they both come back in 2024 to be able to have this match. It's crazy to think about. Unfortunately, I don't know if I was tired or I'm gonna say I was tired because I tried to watch the match and I was just kind of bored. So I was just kind of tuning it out, and it was just there for background noise. And then I looked up and I'm like, oh, the match is over. That was underwhelming. So it might have been on me. So it's going to get a gargle until
It was 100% on you. The sound of those slaps didn't wake your ass up.
No, because I'm kind of used to someone in the ring always beating Daniel Bryan. He always takes a beating in the ring anyways, and it's a bruise over here in the neck region, chest region. So it's just Daniel Bryan's taking the pounding again. What's new?
Kyle, spit or swallow?
Speaking of things that are able to happen the year of our Lord 2024, I am swallowing our truth in the year of our Lord 2024, breaking out the John Cena moveset, and probably at this point doing it better than his childhood hero.
Honestly,
I've always been back and forth on our truth. As to whether or not I really enjoy him. I find his shtick tired or whatever it is. But lately, I feel like he's been really hitting for me. And honestly, I hope that he gets. It does look like they're going to try to do the awesome truth at Mania, which fine, I guess. But I hope that we don't have that much R-Truth in the ring left. Probably. So I hope that we get to go out strong. And honestly, at this point, I do think if we're going to do an R-Truth retirement match, career versus career with John Cena, I would not be opposed to that.
Okay, listen. Why the fuck is John Cena catching strays right now?
Tell me I'm speaking lies. Tell me that I am speaking lies.
You're speaking lies. Listen, I love R-Truth as much as the next guy. Man's been going for like 30, 40 years, never missed a beat except medical reasons when his leg gave out and he kind of had to take a leave. His idol is John Cena, and he is older than John Cena. That's amazing. Because Cena cannot be here, we get Truth being John Cena with the moveset. And I will love that. I will not go as far as saying he's doing it better than John Cena, but I'm a Cena girly. That's my number one. But I love R-Truth, and I love that he's doing it. He's doing it for us.
All I'm saying is that STF, John Cena's been a little bit hit or miss with the STFs in the past. I feel like Truth nailed it, but that's all I'm saying.
Can we please get R-Truth taking that Money in the Bank off Damian Priest, so someone that has a chance of actually cashing it in an entertaining and fun way and doing something cool actually has it instead of Damian Priest? Because that'd be cool.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We're not that far away from Money in the Bank coming up again. Doesn't he need to do something with it?
I think the rule is it's a year from when he won it.
Yes, it's at Money in the Bank is where
do something.
He has less than 4 months to cash it in.
Yeah, do something.
Do something, Damian Priest.
Welcome to the stick. Do something.
Yeah.
So if this really goes down, they keep doing this where they put the briefcase on somebody where they think it's going to be interesting, but then they forget the part where they have to actually plan a cash in. My brother and roommate.
Are you okay?
Wandering past. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. I was going to say you were just the victim of a drive-by. 2 drive-bys.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Canada's either. Maybe I should reconsider.
It's a dangerous place.
That is literally the definition of a Canadian drive-by.
Hey.
He was wearing a 2.
And listen,
too. He was wearing a 2.
I wanted drugs and cheap condoms to be the title. I think Canadian Drive-By is going to be the title. I feel like we had Red Tigers and now we're Canadian Drive-By. Yeah.
I have a list. We will talk about it after.
All I'm saying is they put it on Otis, they put it on Austin Theory, and now they put this briefcase on Damian Priest. I get wanting to make the briefcase an interesting way for people to come up. But then they have to actually do something. Otherwise, you're just wasting our time. And you did it again, WWE.
It's because they're dumb.
Fair.
I'm sorry, what did Roman do with that briefcase?
With his tribal dick. Vince, spit or swallow.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to swallow SmackDown setting up more WrestleMania match cards in just one fucking night. Like previously stated, Jay challenged his brother Jimmy on Raw. Then Jimmy rebutted with a backstage promo that was very intense and got a little too close to the camera for my liking. But, he has great teeth, so it wasn't that bad of a visual. Aside from that, they also confirmed that we're going to get a triple threat match for the U.S. title, as we stated. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul. That's cool. Okay, cool. I didn't think that's what we were gonna do with Randy Orton. I was really thinking we were gonna get Solo versus Randy Orton, but maybe that means that we're gonna get Solo versus John Cena, the rematch at WrestleMania. Fingers crossed. And then aside from that, they also announced what was the other match they announced for WrestleMania? I'm drawing a blank. I just had it on my note. Where the fuck did it go? They announced another match, didn't they?
AJ and LA Knight.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. They confirmed AJ versus LA Knight. Thank you. That's where I was going. Especially with the promo, the LA Knight cut. God damn. You forget how good he is in the mic because they don't showcase him like they were initially. But I like what they're doing with AJ Styles and LA Knight. That match has heat behind it. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you, Rylan, for helping me out there. But yeah, SmackDown set up 3 WrestleMania matches in the span of 2 hours. So that gets a swallow for me. I just like knowing my WrestleMania cards or my PLE pay-per-view cards ahead of time. And I hate waiting till like the week of for them to announce 3-4 matches more. Just like give me the card beforehand so I can plan for it accordingly.
When you have a good general manager like Nick Aldis, not a piece of shit general manager like Adam Pearce, things get done.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Make our truth the GM.
Make our truth the GM.
You know what? You know what? If we're ranking GMs right now, it's Nick Aldis because he's a little bit more savvy. Then it'd be Ava Rain. She's the Rookie of the Year. Elements of surprise. Okay,
Kyle, you just get so. R-Truth gets Money in the Bank from Damian Priest because he's not doing shit with it anyway, right? And then he comes out to cash in the Money in the Bank on Adam Pearce to be the new GM.
Yes. 100%
in the middle of an Adam Pearce promo. Just saying.
That's not how that works. Oh, man.
But it's R-Truth, so it does.
Yes,
That's the thing. It's R-Truth, it fucking works.
R-Truth logic.
It's better than Otis, like way better than Otis.
Oh, I'm still so mad about Otis because AJ should have won that fucking match, and then he was literally within his fingertips. I hate that shit. They just did it for shits and giggles, and they just give it to the Miz, and then he cashed in, lost the title a week after that to Bobby Lashley. Like it was a waste. I can't think the last time they've had a good men's Money in the Bank winner. Because the women do it that much better, yes.
They keep cashing that in the same show. Somebody needs to hold that thing.
They delayed a little bit this year. They did like a month.
Well, Jesus.
Hey,
yeah, it's been a while.
At least all the women are like successful.
Yeah.
Fair.
I guess.
Speaking of successful women, Katie, spit or swallow.
Yeah, because I push agendas for the women.
What could you possibly mean, Katie?
Oh, you'll fucking find out. Anyways, speaking of my agenda for women, I'm swallowing Candice LeRae turning heel because
she was mean.
Okay, it's the same shit basically that Christian is doing in AEW.
He's just out here stealing Christian's gimmick.
But it's no one is doing it in WWE. And Candice took what they were doing to Maxine. Everyone was shitting on Maxine and booing her, and there was the whole thing on fucking Twitter and all of that. Candice said, "Hey, no, fuck this. That's why the fans don't like you. All the girls in the back hate you. Your dead brother. Like, be happy he's not here to fucking see you, asshole." I love evil Candice. They need to just like utilize her because she is one of your best wrestlers in the ring, but you don't put her in that scenario. You know, so like if this gives me Candice just fighting everybody and just beating the shit out of them and actually giving me like good wrestling matches, I'm 100% down.
I have a pitch.
Okay.
The working relationship of evil Candice, and eventually evil Ciampa. Have the two of them work together.
Okay.
For this Johnny,
he's gonna steal his wife.
No, but it's not a romantic thing. You don't need to do a romantic angle.
No.
Don't need any of that. Just Tommaso knows how to get things done.
Candace
See,
has
I
seen
think-
that man be evil. She knows what to do.
I think I would have liked that segment a lot better if it led to a brawl and not her Maxine storming away. Like, I think I would have, because I mean, if somebody said that to me, I would tackle them. And
She was flabbergasted. She was shocked.
I don't
But
know, Rylan. If you say that
it's-
to me, I might fucking cry too, dude. Like,
It's gotta build, right? Maxine's gotta get to that breaking point where she goes from sad and upset and hurt to fuck you, because from what we've seen of Maxine, she's a happy-go-lucky, almost comedic character, right? It would not make sense for her to just immediately snap and get violent out of nowhere. We got to get her there. Now, Rylan said something. He said, oh, just stealing Christian Cage's gimmick. Well, Christian stole my gimmick. I was talking about absentee dads before he was talking about dead dads. He just made shit about dead dads. So I approve Candice LeRae taking his gimmick and making it about dead brothers. All right.
I did love his
father
tweet.
of absentee family members and talking shit. I approve.
Jesus
Well, I've
Christ.
got some stories to tell you. Let me tell you.
I'm going to follow in Katie's lead and push some agendas, mostly to educate the unwashed, uneducated masses in wrestling. Gigi Dolan and Ariana Grace had a match that resulted in 2 low blows and a DQ, and everything with a penis that doesn't know how a woman's anatomy works was like, it doesn't hurt if you hit a woman in the vagina. There's nothing there. There's a lot there. There are more nerve endings in the clitoris than there is in the tip of your dick, bro. Just because the ovaries are inside, not outside, it's not the same thing. And if you hit a woman in the vagina, it still hurts. And a low blow is not a low blow for any other reason than you blew someone low. Like, it is what that's the whole definition of the move. It's not punch to the balls where it's specific to male genitalia. So yes, if you hit a woman in the vagina, it hurts. As someone who's been in a few, I understand the physiology because I've taken the time to learn and care. More of you should do that, and maybe you'll see more of them. That is all I'm going to say about that. Also, I loved Ariana Grace and
are
Gigi
you a
Dolan in the ring.
specialist? Are you a specialist now?
I wouldn't call myself a
I am.
specialist, but yeah, no, Katie's the specialist. I just I like to moonlight.
You're an enthusiast. You're an enthusiast.
Yeah, I'm an enthusiast. I'm a vagina enthusiast. There we go.
Well, I'm a vagina expert as someone who has had one for 27 years of life. Yeah, people were like, oh, those are, yeah, fuck it. You get hit anywhere. That shit hurts.
That's fast.
I want men to experience one day of like the cramps that you have to experience as a woman. You bitches would be on the ground crying.
I've had kidney stones. I understand.
There you go.
But see, Katie, I had to
That for
say it
5
because
days.
unfortunately, here in America,
Oh God.
men don't listen to you because they don't think you know what goes on with your own body here in America. Like, men don't
Yeah,
understand
I don't
that
know anything.
the people that
apparently,
have the
so.
bodies know better than the people that don't have the bodies what goes on. So I, as someone who does not have a vagina, has to speak to the idiots who refuse to listen to the people with them. And she is correct.
Women are used to being looked over in every aspect, so this was nothing new.
Is this podcast just advocating for a life in Canada? Maybe. It's hard to say.
Their
Yeah.
agenda is everyone move to Canada.
That's the Smackin It Raw agenda of this episode. Move to fucking Canada.
It's the Winnipeggers agenda is move to Canada.
I'm never
You've been
opposed to more
Winnipeg to
Canadians.
Manitoba.
Speaking of Winnipeggers, Rylan, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna swallow corporate Okada. I love this gimmick. That, like, firstly, I love the change to the Young Bucks because I'm a Young Bucks fan, but like at the point they changed their characters, it needed it desperately. And I dig the corporate get up. I dig the Matthew and Nicholas thing. Adding Okada into it is fantastic. Him telling Marvez to sing Matthew happy birthday, priceless. Just priceless.
That's probably the best thing about all of them is Okada. Just tell him happy birthday. That's the energy I need from a friend. Matt, you better bring that energy.
Wow, that's crazy.
I need
His
you to
birthday
bring
comes up
that.
next.
I'm gonna bring the energy right now. What you talking about? I'm gonna tell everyone. Tell Matt happy birthday. I will tweet everyone. Tell Matt happy birthday on his birthday.
We'll
which
see.
would yeah.
Are you gonna make it a happy birthday and actually set plans to see me before then so I can get that Smackin' It Raw sign? Is that gonna be a thing that's gonna happen or?
Yeah.
Okay, because you keep giving me shit, and I said let me know when. And as the weeks approach, I have not got a text, DM, or invite to said location on said day for meetup.
I'm gonna put it in the mailbox, and you're gonna receive it in Tennessee
After my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like.
And then I'll be blamed for not showing up because he went on a whole thing about how I don't, because I have a wife and a child and a fucking life and a house that I'm rehabbing, that I don't spend enough time with him. So
I still stand by that statement. I feel a little neglected.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, that's
Kyle,
what happened.
I don't know if you feel as neglected as Vince does, but I don't want to neglect you, so spit or swallow.
Those are tales from my therapist. I am going to swallow everything to do with Pac being back. I am so excited to see the bastard return in AEW. I think that he is one of those guys that, one, he's just a great match machine. And, yes, he was wrestling Aaron Solo, which I don't know if that quite counts, but he looked great again returning, which was good to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what they decide to do with him this time. There's a lot of people you could throw him in a feud against. There's a lot of belts on AEW. I don't know if you know this. Maybe you can grab one of them. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you decide to give him, say, one of those belts, maybe don't have him on the pre-show with Kip Sabian and your pay-per-views. Just saying. Throwing it out there. But yeah, I'm excited to see him back. I look forward to honestly, I wouldn't if we're gonna go back to some greatest hits, I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to Orange Cassidy again. Maybe having them go toe to toe again. Now that he needs something to do. Why not?
We have Osprey. Like, I want to see Pac and Osprey.
Sure,
Pac
but
and
like
Okada.
Osprey, if you will.
Oh, Lord.
Osprey.
The thing is, the reality is, Pac is the type of wrestler who pick a person on the roster because he's going to be great.
Damn it, Bailey. God damn it.
Okay, now you know what, honestly, not opposed to that either.
That would be hysterical.
Maybe he becomes the new heir, the new prodigy.
So I hear you're a bastard. I know a thing or two about bastards.
Oh,
Jesus.
I love that. Honestly, if we're moving on from Christian, you want somebody to take Nick Wayne under his wing, you could do worse than Pac. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, no,
I also feel like boss spray is what happens when Sasha Banks squirts. Neither here nor there.
Matt.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Sir, dude.
Wept.
What the fuck? You're extremely out of pocket.
Just about every time I open my mouth, Ryland. Just about every time I open my mouth.
You looked confused when he was talking about Pac.
Well, I was, because when did this happen?
So he came back.
Collision.
He came back
that's
on
why.
Dynamite.
Right. He was back
And
on
then
Dynamite and then
he was in a. See, I didn't even watch the show, and I know this. He had a 6-man tag against Math, Nickelback, and Okada, teaming with Penta and Kingston.
Shut up.
And then he had the match on Collision against Aaron Solo.
I'm not gonna lie.
Not a good follow-up.
Not
a good follow-up.
I saw
just wanted to get
Mathematics,
him a match.
Nickelback, and Okada in a 6-man tag match, and then I went and made corned beef sandwiches and came back, and the match was over. So that's why I missed it.
Corned beef?
Which it all makes sense because I saw these people like, oh, let's put Will Ospreay and fucking Pac and Zack Sabre Jr. So I don't know, somebody like, let's put him in the ring and see what happens. I'm like, why is everyone talking about Pac all of a sudden? I haven't seen Pac in fucking forever. And then he's out there. He's like, oh, Pac returned. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he had a vignette thingy at Revolution, and then he showed up on Dynamite, and then he showed up on Collision, and then he told management, give me someone worthy to fight, or I'll go look for myself. I'm telling you, him and Okada at fucking Dynasty or whatever the hell.
You know
That'll
what
be
I
great.
really want to see, and I think we've seen it, but I'd love to run it back.
Pac
Pac and
Malachi?
Joe.
Oh,
Ooh.
Also Pac
Oh
and
my
Malachi, but Pac and Joe.
Also, yeah. But that's the thing about him is like he's one of those guys that he's just going to make everybody look good. So just
he's
run him in as many
phenomenal.
great matches as you want to. Let him win a couple though. Like as a treat for me, let him win a few.
as a little treat, as a little snickety snack.
Yeah.
Let Pac win something.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
finally,
way she did.
little snickety snack. You know?
Yeah.
A little
100%.
snickety snack could be the name of the show too.
I have a list of titles we'll go over later. Don't worry.
As the Samoa Joe of the Smackin' It Raw podcast, as he holds the championship for the Pornhub Poppy race and refuses to challenge or defend it because he doesn't think anyone's worthy of challenging him. Vince, spit or swallow?
We were talking about Nick Wayne, the prodigy, so I'm going to swallow the real prodigy, Roxanne Perez, and her promo she cut on NXT. I loved everything she did. I love heel Roxanne Perez because it gives me like mean, small women vibes, and for some reason, that's a swallow for me. Might be something I need to analyze within myself later on. But I thought her points were very valid. You know, obviously she's had gripes about not having an opportunity for that NXT title, even though she never really lost it herself. And she's been long saying she wants an opportunity, and then she just keeps barely missing out. So she took out Lyra, giving her a reason to come after her and get that title match. We're going to get her versus Tatum. So that's going to be a nice little like appetizer to start things off. But it looks like we're heading for Stand and Deliver, Lyra Valkyria defending the title versus Roxanne Perez. And I hope to God Roxanne wins because
No.
I love Lyra, but I like Roxy more. So she gets my rocks off more than Lyra. So I want her to win the title, especially as a heel. I think it'd be very interesting to see what she do. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lyra gets called up to main roster after she drops the title as Stand and Deliver.
Well, as this is the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub, we've learned a lot about Vince, right? His fiance has let us know that he exclusively masturbates to porn with men that look like me, but he's also told us that his favorite porn star is Riley Reid, who is 5'3", and Roxanne Perez is 5'1". So maybe it is something with the size of the women for you, Vince.
I mean, my fiance is like 5'3", 5'4". So
see,
all the pieces are getting put together, folks.
Yeah, it's all adding up now. All the math and the Nicholas
mathematics and Nickelbacks. No, I'm with you. I enjoyed everything Roxanne Perez, heel Roxanne Perez. I'm about it. I was hoping for Tatum Paxley versus Lyra Valkyria in a Mickie James, Trish Stratus-esque moment at Stand and Deliver.
I think we're getting there, maybe after this.
But I'm down for Roxanne Perez. I love me some Roxanne Perez. And Lyra and Roxanne are going to tear it down on the biggest stage NXT has to offer. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's because she's AJ Lee's kid. That's why.
Have you seen though? I don't know if Katie has seen it, but CM Punk has long been like out here. It's like, yes, my child, yes, embrace the evil. Like on Twitter, I mean on Instagram, he keeps posting like stories on his IG, like very proud that he's turning Roxanne Perez into this evil person. And
yeah, because all his kids are evil. Cora Jade, Roxanne, it's all coming together.
They're the Addams family.
He was there.
CM Punk was there. Yep. Katie was not, but she will be at Stand and Deliver. Katie, spit or swallow?
This is true. Again, women. We're on a roll here. Let's keep it going. I'm going to swallow the team of Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May cosplaying as old school Toni Storm. This team is hysterical, first and foremost. Mariah May looks so much like Toni when she had the super long hair. It's actually kind of scary. Toni let Mariah get the pin in their tag match on Rampage. That's why Matt didn't see it.
Well, I was going to ask who Deanna's tag team partner was because I saw the setup and I have it in my notes.
Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
is the partner.
By
A
the
lot of
way,
people were
Blonde
expecting
Thunder
Britt.
Rosa is fantastic. She looking good.
Look, she's gorgeous always.
Blonde just Super Saiyan level now.
A lot of people were expecting like a Britt Baker as Deanna's partner because like the history with the two of them. People were just like kind of spitballing. I wasn't expecting Thunder Rosa. I'm not mad at that. That we get that match next week, I think. But yeah, Toni Storm's fucking awesome. She's one of the best things in AEW right now. And her and Mariah and the black and white and the shoes still being thrown, everything about it. Let's fucking go.
All right. I'm with you. Like I said, I had the setup. I didn't catch the match. Happy to hear it was Thunder Rosa. All about it. I'm gonna move us back to NXT. I'm going to swallow the family dinner because
Waiting for this.
I am Team Tony D.
Down
Ilija
the D
Dragunov interrupts dinner, gets dragged out. Tony's like, listen, this is nothing personal. They put him in a trunk. They drive him to the bridge. I'm pretty sure it was the bridge that old boy got thrown off of with the cement blocks when they killed him off of NXT TV. The only person officially killed off of NXT TV was By the Don. And he's like, I'm not going to do that to you. However, let this be a warning to you. I'm taking this shit seriously. I'm coming for that belt. Dragunov has all of the Dragunov energy despite the intimidation tactics and everything. And again, I am under no illusion of the chances of Tony D'Angelo to actually dethrone Ilija Dragunov. But if you do this for me, Sean, I will never say anything about your wonky eye again. I swear to God.
Listen,
Matt will be the worst person on this show if it does happen.
I'll be worse than Vince and Listen, there's always a chance, right? I will be worse than Vince and his fucking Sheamus bullshit. Like, I'll be insufferable.
Listen, that was a story. That was the whole WrestleMania story that carried on over until
you killed it because you didn't fucking draft Sheamus.
Listen, if I could do things over again,
you still wouldn't pick him.
I would. You know, especially not knowing that Matt doesn't want to draft things anymore. Maybe that's why. It's like, God damn it, Vince killed the gimmick on the draft show. Now I'll never draft again.
We had a good thing going, and you ruined it, Vince.
Whatever. I'm with you there, Matt. I'm with you. That was actually my next swallow. If you weren't going to mention that, I was like, Matt's taking too long to mention this, and I'm going to mention this. Listen, in ring wise, Ilija Dragunov. Bee's knees. The bee's knees. Love him. He's really good. Outside, could care less. Like, I don't really care much about his character. I like good character in men. And Tony D has good character right now. So, I like what they're doing. I think Tony D would be more interesting as an NXT champion. I don't know how realistic it is, but I hope Tony D grabs his newfound lawyer or his underboss or a crowbar or something, maybe breaks some calves, some kneecaps or something, and gets that NXT title.
Listen, everyone needs to join the D train.
Especially Reek. Reek, get on the D train.
Climb on board the D train.
Me too.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
You already write that down?
Yeah, I got it. Yes.
Wow, you had it on there before we even said it.
I am paying attention. I'm writing stuff as it happens.
Since I stole Vince's next, swallow, Rylan, did I steal yours as well, or you got something else for us?
I'm gonna spit Lexus King. Man, this guy is somebody with so much potential, and I just feel like they're not getting any of it. The beard looks terrible. The finisher is awful. And it's
the entrance is amazing.
The entrance is great. That's the one part that they have with him. But like, I just feel like everything else doesn't connect. So for me, Lexus King is a big spit. This match this week was
awful.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can rig that up for the entrance of our show where like my chair just slides in to this position.
I mean, you do have your
I'm
bookshelf
just like
that slides in, so you've been known.
My bookshelf is a door.
Exactly.
That's
I
true.
want one of those Alistair Black like pneumatic lifts so I can like set up
Oh,
and do podcasts. That'd be good for your horror podcast to have that do the setup thing.
Oh my
Look
god,
at
Matt.
all these
figure it out.
ideas. Write that shit down, Katie.
No, this is on him. He needs to remember this himself. I'm not helping him.
He's like, I'm not responsible.
No, I'm just trying to look around to see where I can put the rig.
Right behind you.
Yeah, I know.
Cover it
I
up.
gotta make sure I don't like throw myself into the fucking laptop.
That would be so funny if you did.
Wow. I'm with you. I listen, Lexus King, you know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, living up to legacies and all of that. And I was hyped for him. I was hoping it was going to be good in NXT. It has not been hitting for me. There's something there. They just haven't quite figured it out yet. And I hope they do soon before I'm completely out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice thing about NXT though is that it's a place where you can get a few shots, even if you don't get it wrong right away. Like if you see something in a person, like look at a guy like I'll say Angelo Dawkins as an example, who was down there forever in a day, and then they finally found something that worked. Like if they're willing to show the patience with a guy who is talented enough, certainly, then hopefully they can find something that works.
All right. Yeah.
I do agree with you though.
I'm also with you on your next spit or swallow, Kyle.
You sure will be. I am spitting Hook. Jesus. Okay. So here's the thing.
Even Jericho didn't like that one.
Here's the thing. Chris Jericho has become persona non grata in wrestling for, you know, obvious and understandable reasons. I'm not going to defend him here in any kind of way. But when something like that happens and reality takes over, the things to do are either A, stop fucking booking him, which is always an option, Tony. That's always there. He's got a pretend rock band that he can go play with. But that's always an option. Or two, stop booking him as a face and dragging perfectly good people down with him.
It's the Jericho vortex everybody talks about.
It's the thing I don't understand. And it's the problem with it now isn't that he's just dragging people down, which is a whole thing. It's how long these stories drag on for nothing. He was supposed to fight Garcia at some point. That rivalry is supposed to like conclude or have a finish or have a point. Same thing with Guevara. Supposed to have a point, didn't. Got involved with the other terrible Winnipegger that I don't want to deal with. Mixed him in somehow. It's unfortunate. Yeah, the only bad thing about that absolute banger of a match between Takeshita and Ospreay was the fact that we had to listen to Don Callis talk. The reality is that he's Chris Jericho. He can be a heel. We've seen him do it before. He's fine at it. I would obviously, my preference would be not to see him anymore. But if we're going to continue to see him, if we have to, then stop making us try to cheer for him. It does not make sense at this point in time, and I don't understand why they keep pushing this. And for a person like Hook, who is a great wrestler, but maybe needs the personality of somebody to sort of get him over, this tag team thing was a great opportunity to get him with somebody, to pair him with somebody to make that work. And instead you set him up with Jericho. What are you doing? Don't understand.
Fumbling in the bag there, Tony.
Agree. On top of that, Jericho goes on the internet and proves what Kyle said, that he is a heel by bragging about all of the people and the better position they are after feuding with him. But when you look at him, look at the list, none of them are in a better position at all than they were. The only one that even got close to being in a better position was MJF, and he had to crawl out of some bullshit to get there. He had to go through a lot of bullshit to get there. Mr. Warren Hayes did a whole show where they talked about the Jericho Vortex and they tried to debunk it. And at the time, there was some merit to it. But looking at where the fuck, like, are Starks and fucking Big Bill still tag team champions?
Yes, they're
No.
in the.
They're not.
No, they're not
champions. They're still a tag team. They're in the tournament to be champions, but
that's going to be
no,
FTR versus the Bucks. I saw the minute.
I couldn't remember.
They're in the bracket.
I couldn't remember what fucking titles they held. If it was ROH, no, ROH is somebody else. Anyway, no, they're not tag team champions. But see, again,
Undisputed King.
I haven't.
Oh God, I
gave a shit about them since they lost the tag team titles, and I wouldn't say Ricky Starks had potential to be a huge single star, and now he's with Big Bill in some tag team bullshit. Garcia is gyrating to the ring and doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Sammy Guevara is giving people concussions and getting taken off TV, getting in fights with the Hardy Boys, who are not the greatest tag team.
Had a blood feud, and now they don't like each other.
3.0 is barely wrestling.
Yeah, no. So Jericho's full of shit. He elevated nobody. Anna Jay was better off before being Anna JAS than she ever was as Anna JAS or after. And Jake Hager still exists, and I blame Jericho for that. So,
he likes his hat, man. Leave him alone. He likes his hat.
Like, here's the thing: the fact that hat had more personality than he did tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. Despicable.
We're gonna go around one more time after this, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Vince, spit or swallow. So everyone, pick out your last spit and or swallow after me, Vince, and Katie go.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and swallow the segment between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. We have yet to talk about it. We have yet to talk about Big Daddy Drew. And we should, because it was a very solid promo once again. I was not feeling Drew versus Seth again at WrestleMania, but Drew McIntyre has won me over to the point where I want this man to win the title or just fuck the shit up for Seth Rollins, like afterwards, just beat the shit out of him. It was a good back and forth. Seth Rollins actually explained the reason I'm ignoring you and not paying any attention to you is because you're like on the bottom of my priority list. Like, I can multitask. I can have this tag team match and defend WWE from the bloodline and then also take care of you on Monday Night Raw. I've already done it in the past. You can't really beat anyone. You need the bloodline self. You needed Jimmy and Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa to beat Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes respectively. So no. Basically says Drew just keeps bashing Punk, and I love it. He does, but now he's targeted Seth Rollins. I don't know if you've seen that the new meme he's posted out there, but it's that one video of all the little kids like doing the dab or whatever. Yeah, that's what it's called, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
old man, come on, you got this.
I'm not sure, but
You're the youngest one here. Oh no, Katie is.
I am.
Katie is. I'm going on 32 now. But yeah, they're all dabbing and whatnot. I should know what dabbing is. TJP did it excessively on NXT. So
yeah, that's the reason you should know what dabbing is.
Because that's anyways. Point is, all the kids were dabbing, and then you get to like the last one, and then the white kid's like doing the karate stance or something, and then each of them is like everyone on the road to WrestleMania. Drew, Cody, Jimmy, Roman, Rock, and then the little kid that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing is Seth. He continues to be a fantastic troll. He tried to tease him to get him to brawl with him in the ring, but Drew did not because he wants Seth at his best so he can take him and take his title at his best. I like this feud. They're actually doing something to build up this world title match, which is another reason why I haven't been liking the build to this tag team match, because we haven't seen the more build for this world title match between Seth and Drew. So I'm swallowing everything Drew and Seth because I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, Drew's been carrying this entire feud, and I'm
He
good with
has.
that because he's killing it. He really is. He told CM Punk, "I'm keeping you relevant. I expect a thank you card." He, whined about not getting Seth's attention. Seth's like, "All right, bitch, here's all the attention you want. You got it now. You're at the bottom of my priority list, but I'm here. Let's go. Here, if this doesn't work for you, let me turn my back because you're a coward. I'll make it easy on you. This is how you like to do it." It was a great fucking promo. They killed it, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. What's up, Allison? What's up, Devin? Thanks
Shout
for
out,
coming
Al.
through. Katie, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna swallow Sean Spears. I love this man.
You and Cassie Lee both.
Me and Cassie Lee both. I loved him as Ty Dillinger. I loved him as Sean Spears in AEW, even though he wasn't fucking utilized in any capacity. And I love him now. He's just, I don't know. It's something about him that just, maybe it's just the aura of him I love. And the fact that he's just really in like the mind game setup right now. Just like fucking, and like I fucking hate Ridge Holland. So like the fact that he's just targeting Ridge is very entertaining to me. So whatever. I love me some Sean Spears. The chairman gimmick, but I love him in this, and I still wasn't expecting him to be that person when all those, like, man with the mask, all that shit was coming out. I wasn't expecting Sean Spears at all. So that's also why, like, I'm very happy it's him.
I had Sean Spears. Go ahead.
I'm happy with whoever is beating the shit out of Ridge Holland, so I'm with you. Because Ridge just doesn't do it for me, so I'm good with that.
Who could guess with a name like Ridge that people wouldn't get into a guy named Ridge?
Ridge the Fridge, man.
He had potential, and then he broke both his legs.
The fuck did you just say, Vince?
Ridge the Fridge. That's what they called him. Sheamus and Butch. Ridge the Fridge.
They also called Pete Dunne Butch. We shouldn't be, doing anything.
They had that man in the newsboy hat.
He looked good in it.
Hey.
All right.
He looked
I never
bad.
thought. Listen, I never thought I'd say this, and I'm looking at my list, and I've got a few things on here, so I'll have to pick one of them depending on how the round goes. But I never thought I'd say this. I'm gonna swallow getting the old Thea Hale back.
Yes.
I really wasn't a huge fan of Thea Hale. However, with JC Jane turning on her, getting a new really hot best friend, all of these things, Thea finally snapping and saying, "Fuck it, I'm not going to try and be you anymore. I'm just going to be me." They've won me over on Thea Hale being her awkward, nerdy, authentic self. And I'm about it. I also love that Fallon Henley consistently has her back and is down to ride whenever she needs, because we love us some Fallon Henley. So, like, Thea Hale.
And Riley was watching backstage, and he was smiling and happy. And I love that.
It's a love story waiting to happen.
I love love.
Any thoughts on Thea Hale? No, just Katie.
No, I liked it too. I had it there, but you kind of hit all the points, so I didn't want to regurgitate.
I didn't see NXT this week, but yeah, I'm pro Thea Hale 100%.
You watched Rampage and Collision, but you missed NXT.
I didn't see. Admittedly, I didn't see Rampage. I saw Collision.
Okay.
I didn't see Rampage.
Okay.
I watched Rampage.
Fair enough.
Fair. Just don't tell Nathan Frazier. Just let's side. The one cool thing Axiom did was mention the fact that he was a kid without mentioning the fact that he was a kid while talking about the.
He does that all the time.
I know a guy who was the first ever cup, whatever, the Heritage Cup guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Ryland, your final spit or swallow?
I'm going to swallow Adam Copeland introducing Spike on tonight's Collision. I'm excited for the I Quit match. These guys are in their 50s, but man, you'd never guess it by their work rate. I'm digging the weapon. I think it's great. I'm happy that the storyline's coming to a conclusion. I assume Adam Copeland goes over in Toronto, but we'll see. I like Spike. I like Spike a lot.
I'm trying to
Elaborate.
I'm trying to explain to Matt what Spike is as you were talking.
Because I was like, Dudley? He brought out Spike Dudley? What's going on?
I mean, he
Like,
would have
what
fit
is
in the
Spike?
briefcase. He would have fit in the briefcase for sure.
He probably would have.
Spike is going to be his weapon of choice in the I Quit match. It's like it looks like a board with nails in it.
It's
Like
basically like a
Arby's
Barbie.
Spike?
like Janice,
Weapon.
but like less large.
He wouldn't know what Janice is. He never watched
Okay,
TNA
all
or
right, fair
Impact.
enough. Fair enough. It looks like a deadly weapon, and he said he's going to take a chunk out of Christian Cage's ass.
As a horror
So-
fan, you'd appreciate the architecture of said
Mhm.
weapon.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
basically Barbie except on like a plank of wood, not a baseball bat.
And
Yeah.
I will say too, like Adam Copeland's promo was very much so in the same vein as like a Mick Foley Cactus Jack promo, which I
Mhm.
really appreciated too. I like when you take something from the past and kind of implement it in a current promo, and we know they have history, so like it was
Yep.
cool to see that.
This is
All
for his
right,
baby.
I'm
Oh,
I
with Spike
don't-
Dudley making his debut on AEW. I'm down.
yeah, next week. Spike
I
Dudley debut.
don't fully agree with Rylan. I didn't love the promo. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was there. I'm not eagerly anticipating the match as you are, but I'm sure once I watch it, I will enjoy it. I just kind of cringed when I saw the weapon because it's like, bro, you're 50. My back hurt just looking at that thing. God forbid you actually use it on each other. What is wrong with you, dude? Just sit on your rock and like rock on your like one person seater, like just like your love seat in your couch. Just watch some wrestling, kick your feet up, put some Crocs
You
on
know
your
what?
feet or something.
Vince, no.
How
like,
are
if
you
you're-
talking right now?
Like,
It's a very
Like-
good question.
Oh my god.
they're in their
Hey,
50s
Ryan.
and they're cooking, man. Like,
They should be cooking in the backyard, not in the ring. Just
Oh,
You're like bookmarks right now, Vince, and Katie's the book in the middle.
it's the rated R era, man.
In our super
Kyle, your final
Uh,
spit or swallow.
I am going to swallow everything Willow Nightingale right now. Always a big fan.
Yes.
Getting to see her on a main event was really cool. I thought the match with Rio was good. And I'm excited to see the sort of frenemies, I guess, direction she's got with Mercedes.
Ben's Banks.
Yes. I'm a fan of Willow. I think she's fantastic. I think that it's just I think the whole thing with Mercedes this week just left me excited for all of the great matches that we're going to be getting out of this run. So yeah, bring it on. I am fully ready.
You're not frozen anymore, Vince. We can see you.
Cool.
Um,
see you.
I love.
can see when it unfreezes.
You
I
weren't
just
looking.
assumed somebody
I love.
flashed him because the screen went black.
I love anything with Willow. I love anything with Julia. I love everything about Sky Blue. Everything. Ben's Banks coming out, getting involved, talking about the history with Willow, and then showing up and them doing their thing at the end. Enjoyed it all. So I'm with you. Vince, now that you're unfrozen and we can see your lips move, spit or swallow.
Yes. Okay. I kind of don't want to say this bit because I feel like it might start some shit. But it's the only thing I have left on my list, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm spitting what they're doing with Nia and Liv Morgan, poking their head in this Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch title match that I really want to see. I just want Becky versus Rhea. I don't want to see fucking Liv Morgan. I don't want to see Nia Jax. I'm tired of seeing like Becky's like, oh, I'm gonna take on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's gonna take on Nia. Everyone's interrupting in each other's matches. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If it turns into a fatal 4-way match, I'm gonna be pissed because it's like I want to see Rhea versus Becky. Period. Like Liv personally don't hate her, love her, but I don't care for her right now in this story. I don't care that she was taken out by Rhea Ripley. I don't care that she was the last person to pin Rhea Ripley. If that's the case, Jey Uso should be challenging Roman Reigns and not Cody Rhodes. Or maybe it should be a triple threat with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. And then Seth Rollins goes in there just because he doesn't like Roman Reigns, just like Nia Jax. So it's like, I don't like it. Becky won the fucking chamber. Give her the fucking match. Stop doing this whole interweaving stuff. It's honestly just annoying me to the point where I don't want to see anything until it's just exclusively Rhea Becky. And right now we're not getting enough Rhea Becky.
Admittedly, was surprised that Liv wasn't direction for that reason that you mentioned. I get this Becky, but like
Yeah.
I was admittedly surprised.
I didn't want to see that. I get that's gonna start some shit. I didn't want to see Liv versus Rhea at WrestleMania because that's a foregone conclusion. If I'm gonna get a foregone conclusion match, I'd rather it be Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry, Liv Morgan's not gonna beat Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is the fucking face of the women's division right now, and Liv Morgan winning the title would be like when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won the tag titles from Jimmy and Jay. They didn't do shit with the tag titles. I'm sorry. I'm upsetting everyone before we get off.
That's uncalled for.
It's okay. No, it's fine, Rylan. I don't know if you and Kyle know this, but the truth is that Vince is just upset that the Raw Women's Championship has a better story going into WrestleMania than the SmackDown Women's Championship when Bayley's the one that won the Royal Rumble, and that's where the beef really comes from.
No, I don't care
fair.
about that. I care more about the Smack. I'm interested more with what they're doing with Bayley and Damage Control than what they're doing with Rhea and Becky, because that's the main event. But you know, at least EO isn't feuding with fucking Selena Vega or something when she should be feuding with Bayley. At least they're feuding with each other like they're supposed to. But neither here nor there.
I mean, Naomi did show up and get involved, and now that's a thing as well. And neither here nor there. Katie, your final spit or swallow?
I'm gonna swallow Oba Femi beating the absolute shit out of which one is it? Brooks Jensen? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Brooks Jensen.
You did your best, kid. You did your best. You grew a pair. You really thought, no, bro, Oba Femi's a goddamn monster. In what world did he think he had a chance? He couldn't beat, and listen, Briggs, that's a big dude. I love me just some Josh Briggs. It's a big, nice looking man. Same with Oba Femi.
Fire die Jack.
Calm down. Calm down.
Stop.
Oba Femi's going to put on a performance anytime he's in the ring. The crowd is behind him. He is amazing. He's only 22 or 25, depending on who you ask.
Double check that birth certificate. That man is not 22 or 23 or whatever.
Going down a dangerous road.
I'm with you, Katie. I agree. I don't know where to go with my last one, but I think I'm gonna spit the end of the short-lived Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I love the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I'm upset that we ended it so quick, and in just the way that they did. I would have really enjoyed to see this go somewhere. I kind of enjoyed Jay White and the Ass Boys as baby faces alongside Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed. I know Max Caster said some shit, and that might have been part of it. But I was enjoying Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I like saying Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I want to say it as much as possible because it may be the last time I ever get to say Bang Bang Scissor Gang. So
It was
I'm
the title of
spitting
the video.
the end
Yeah,
of the
ties
Bang
with
Bang
it.
Scissor Gang, like 4 or 5 weeks after we got Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
It's because, listen, if we could just take Max Caster out of everything, that'd be great. You know, I love Daddy Ass. I love Anthony Bowens. He could just be a single star if he really wanted to be. He is the star of the Acclaimed, let's be fair. Max Caster can't rap. He's a piece of shit. He's dumb. And he supports Sammy Guevara. Boo. Boo.
All the things.
Yeah. Gentlemen,
Rylan, what was your favorite show you watched this week?
I mean, Dynamite, just because, I was really happy seeing Mercedes be back on TV again. I will say Joe and Wardlow did nothing for me. But seeing the women in the main event was great. The six-man I really liked a lot. And again, Corporate Okada. I love that.
Mr. Joseph?
Man, this is a close one. It's interesting because I don't routinely watch WWE, so when I float into it, it's always very interesting. It was close for me because I think SmackDown this week was very entertaining, but I think I'm also going to say Dynamite. But it was closer than I expected it to be.
Vince?
This is a toss-up between Raw and SmackDown. And that's mostly just because The Rock started things off and took about like 25 minutes to get to his fucking point again. And I just don't care. Despite The Rock being there, I did get a double dose of Latinos, and we got women in the main events. So, and we got some heated LA Knight, AJ Styles stuff, and trying to blank on the dude's name, but anyways, Nick Aldis, thank you. Being a good GM is always appreciated. Sorry, it's a long day. I didn't do anything earlier at all, but just a long day. But yeah, SmackDown. I think I just talked myself into it.
Katie?
I mean, it probably would have been Dynamite, but I didn't fucking watch it. So I'm gonna stick to my roots, NXT.
Women wrestling and the D train. I'm going NXT. The only thing that really excited me on Dynamite was Sasha being there. The rest of Dynamite, for the most part, outside of the main event, which again involved Mercedes, isn't really what gets me going in wrestling. Rylan, you brought up Wardlow versus Joe. I feel like that was kind of wasted because that's something you build to and do something with. It's not a one-off after an opening promo match where Joe gets the win and then we just move the fuck on after what they've been doing. So I'm with you on that. SmackDown, I didn't give a fuck about anything outside of Damage Control and The Rock. The rest of it was just kind of on for me. Raw had a lot of good shit, but Raw doesn't have gangland tactics by putting a champion in a trunk, and Raw didn't have the bang for the buck in the women's division that NXT always gives us. So as always, it's NXT for me as well. Wednesday night wallop. It is Saturday night, but if you want to get walloped on a Wednesday night, where can they get walloped on a Wednesday night? Or any of the other cool shit you guys do that doesn't really get talked about? You got other shows and fun stuff
Wallop
going
Media.
on. Hangouts,
It's Wallop
just
Media.
everything Wallop Media.
Yeah,
everything.
You can't use their WWE name. You got to use their WWE name. They're not Sasha Banks now. They're Mercedes Moné.
Oh God.
You can't. In answer to your question, you can't find any of our content on Wednesdays anymore because we're no longer Wednesday Night Wallop. But on Fridays, Matt, Katie, Vince, you can
Friday
find
Night Fuckboys.
Jesus Christ.
Well, me and Kyle are single now. We can see what the world takes us. I'm coming to Winnipeg soon.
Oh man.
Anyway, you can find all of our stuff. So Kyle, why don't you give the social medias and I'll talk about what we've got coming up.
Sure. Twitter, probably the best way to find us is there at Wallop Media on Twitter, at Kyle Wallop, at Rylan Wallop. You can find us there. Reach out to us and check us out. We're on Facebook too. Search Wallop Media, purple with white. That's our brand and colors. So you'll find us. Not too hard.
I love when your Canadian comes out. Kick a suit.
It doesn't come out very often, but the oot and the boots occasionally. I do get into that when I'm not thinking.
I love it.
We have a lot of stuff coming up. This week we dropped a tag team and factions over under, which everyone should check out. It'll be the perfect companion to next Sunday when Vince has his March Madness show.
Yes.
We
Can't
also
wait to
have
do it.
our Wallop rewind of WrestleMania 17 coming out next week. Kyle's gonna get so much hate for that. Holy God.
I can't wait for that because that's my favorite WrestleMania.
Oh God.
We're gonna talk about that off air, I think. No, and also for WrestleMania night 1 and night 2, Kyle and I are gonna be live here on YouTube and Twitch, not on Pornhub. We haven't gotten our credentials in for Pornhub yet, but no, YouTube and Twitch, you can check us out there. We don't have links yet, but we're gonna have them by the time those shows roll around. Kyle and I, like I said, we don't do video podcasts and we don't do live podcasts very often. So I can't wait to see how grumpy Kyle is after night 1 going into night 2.
Also, WrestleQuisdom, Vince has the opportunity to finish his story. So feel free to check that out.
That's our birthday gift to Matt. It comes out on your birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I feel like Vince's story is beating me, which isn't going to happen. So I'm Roman Reigns, he's Cody Rhodes, but this ain't happening.
No, the story is to win a WrestleQuisdom because that was the goal even before you won one. But to beat you would be the cherry on top.
Yeah, but
wow, I forgot.
We gotta do another one of those.
Oh yeah.
Vince, you've been hinting at a show that's going to go live on Sunday that is not pre-recorded in any way, shape, or form that people can find if they want to tune in and check out.
We have? Oh, yes, we have. That is, of course, Wrestling March Madness 2K24. It is the year of tag teams. We'll be doing the field of 32 single elimination style. Rylan will be one of the judges on the panel. Katie will also be a judge on the panel. Matt doesn't want to be there, and I'm not extending the invite unless he brings more than one Ritter, because that's the only way I'd accept it. We're also going to have Dom from Powerbomb Jutsu and the homie Just from Get Show Podcast. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. It's going to go live on youtube.com/SCSVince at 6:06 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:06 for everyone in the future. March 24th, Sunday. Don't miss it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SESVince. Link trees in my bio will take you to the YouTube. So,
Katie, you do anything fun this week or got anything fun coming up?
I also have a podcast, as crazy as that is, because people only associate me with the show. It's kind of weird. But you can follow me on Twitter, KatieWrestling13. The link tree I'm about to take all things She-Elite Showcase. Twitch.tv/She-Elite Showcase, YouTube.com/She-Elite Showcase, and we have a patreon.com/She-Elite Showcase. That we go live Thursday, 6:15 ish Eastern, give or take. And I have nothing I kind of have something started, but not fully started. I'm gonna do something exclusively on the Patreon that's about true crime.
Ooh.
So I have bits and pieces of it done. I haven't recorded anything yet, but when that goes up, you want to pay $3 a month, you can fucking watch it. And all the other stuff I've done.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you can fuck. I'm like, what? We can fuck on your Patreon?
No.
The true crime one too?
Yeah. Will that be a true crime? I don't know. Kyle, Rylan, join me and find out.
You're all terrible.
I had nothing to do with this.
But yeah, Kyle's
You're
I'm just trying to survive.
I need a bachelor party.
But tomorrow, Sunday, St. Patty's Day, we're doing the Leprechaun franchise, all 8 of those fucking movies, over on Getting Off. 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern, because the future is better. So, yeah, come celebrate St. Patty's Day and talk about an evil leprechaun.
If you want to know more about that, you want to see more about that, you can follow me at Getting Off on Twitter for my horror content, our horror content, the horror content from Getting Off. You can also follow me on Twitter at MattRidders, MATTRIDDR, for your wrestling content, and everywhere else on social media at Smackin It Raw, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky. Also, everywhere on social media, it's Creation World, ITSCREATIA World. For everything Creation World, creationworld.com. We'll get you all the links to everything that we do, not just my shit, but Travis and Mara's shit as well. It's all there. It's all good. It's all fun. Go check it out. Pornhub.com/model/creation world is a thing that you can do as well. For my Winnipeggers, even the one that I may have inadvertently had a relationship and then
Oh man,
witnessed the Canadian drive-by for.
Twice.
these are fresh wounds, man.
Damn it, Matt.
Miss Katie Kinsey Bay, and SCS Vince. I am the patron saint of podcasting, Ward Medrider, and this has been your number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub. It is always a blast to have you guys. I said remove. Rylan was about to talk. I was like, fuck that. Travis. Mind you, this is the post show. We are still live before Rylan goes and starts like talking about things he might want to save when it comes to WrestleMania 17. Since you said we might
I'll save that. I'll save that.
It's my favorite WrestleMania.
I'm gonna get just a message at 2 a.m. or something like that. I'm gonna end up getting D'Angelo'd somehow.
When you wake up
I drive a Subaru Seth. There's room in the trunk for you.
I'm a pretty big dude. I don't know.
I was gonna say Kyle's 6'5". Like,
oh wow,
it's a full size SUV. He'll fit.
Right, there you go.
Right.
Body's bent for a reason.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
It's interesting talking about the stuff with Wardlow and how that match was really disappointing and everything going on with that. It is very odd to me that they made the reveal for this whole storyline with the devil and they put this whole crew together for it. And Wardlow's not the leader of it. So Adam Cole was doing all the promo stuff and Adam Cole was the feature part of this and Wardlow was almost an afterthought in a title match that he earned. It's very bizarre.
Which, in all honesty, like we've already seen that match. So why did we need another Wardlow? I love Joe as champ. Don't get me wrong. Like Joe as champ is
Joe and
good
Hobbs
for me. Yeah, but Hobbs doesn't need that loss either. They could have been anybody else. It could have, that match had like what 6 or 8 guys in it. Could have been any of them. Should have lost to Jericho. Or he should have beat Jericho.
We don't need Jericho wrestling for the title.
Well, yeah, that's
we
the
don't
thing.
Need
we don't need Jericho involved in that.
That's fair. I also have to be right back, guys.
Okay.
Bagley loves some St. Patty's Day, and that doesn't surprise me because he's the closest thing I have to a leprechaun in my life. I mean, he's he's a redhead. He has no soul. He has an accent, much like the leprechaun. All good things, Bagley. We love you.
The person who was wandering back and forth here, it's his literal birthday right now because he was born on St.
Happy
Patty's Day,
birthday. He can't hear me. I'm in your headphones. But happy birthday.
Screaming loud.
Screaming in your ear.
Yeah, he's a bartender and his birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
I need you to turn around and say, Pornhub says happy birthday.
I will let him know. Man, that's awesome.
So I don't know what the fuck Vince had to do. I'm assuming Rylan does what I do and had a post-show pee.
Post-show pee.
Probably.
I barely made it back after the ad break. I'm listening, and I know like where in the ad break I need to like flush, and I was still going. I'm like, shit, I need to hurry this up and get it in there so I don't miss it. I made it back.
Because since I can see him, he came back in and I was like, you were this fucking close. You
guys have no idea. So like we can see you when like the ads are playing or like all that stuff, but you guys can't see us. And me and Katie have like a pre-show ritual / break ritual that we do as stuff's going on to just like loosen ourselves up and get us ready to come back. Also, I've watched so many people not knowing I'm watching them dance to our entrance song.
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Fun. It's my favorite.
I was vibing along.
Matt, let me click it.
The sign language.
Maybe when I was trying to tell you what the fuck Spike was. I don't know. We do that a lot when other people are talking and he doesn't understand something or I don't, we like try and
Silent conversations.
Yeah,
we just have a silent
I
conversation trying to explain it. Sometimes it works, a lot of time it doesn't, but we try our best.
That's all you can do.
Because Matt's
Katie's
my-
also been joining me to stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth every night at 11 o'clock for shits and giggles when I get off work and I've got nothing better to do. Except for last night. Last night we just kind of sat around and I played
Listen to
a
music.
shit ton of music
hours.
from TikTok for 2 hours.
That was like
'Cause-
old school Zoom days.
Yeah. It was a nice
Have you
throwback.
guys-
I wish we could get everyone together like we used to, though. Like when
I
COVID
know.
was a thing and everyone like was working from home, so they didn't care if they had to be up the next morning and shit. And we'd hang out till 2 a.m. because
Those were the good old days. Shout out to the calf.
I miss
As
COVID.
terrible as COVID was and the times were, the amount of like fun hangouts we ended up having during those times, like doing the podcast, were times that I definitely miss.
Yep.
If the
agree.
pandemic didn't happen, I wouldn't be podcasting.
I think we started right before,
Yeah.
and then as soon as it kicked in, it was just like, all right, well, everything's off the rails.
That was that whole thing was wild. I was in Boston when they declared a state of emergency because I was working there for my company. So yeah, no mask, no anything. Wasn't sure if flights home were going to happen. That was a lot of fun.
That sounds like a great
We
time.
tried to relax in my hotel room watching the NBA, and then the NBA stopped happening in the middle of the game. I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to be able to get home tomorrow.
Oh Jesus!
I did not have that issue. I have not watched the NBA since Michael Jordan retired.
That's totally fair.
It's very Chicago.
Totally fair.
Which I've also like. So I can talk about it because it's available on Patreon. People can go watch it. But like, I didn't realize as a Chicago fan that everyone hated the Bulls except for Chicago. I just assumed that they were universally loved. And I'm sitting there and I like, because I remember Dennis Rodman being a heel with the NWO, but like, to me, it didn't really click. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, wow, does everyone actually hate the Chicago Bulls in 1998? Like, outside of us? I didn't get that. I didn't know that. I thought everyone just realized that Jordan was the greatest player of all time and everyone worshipped him like we do. Like, I didn't think it was just a Chicago thing. I thought it was a universal thing.
I agree with that sentiment, and I've been a Toronto Raptors fan my entire life. So, I mean, I didn't hate the Bulls. I knew what we had, and you know, that was during the Vince Carter era too. Like, we didn't have much. We had Vince. We had who
I
else?
say that all
Kyle?
the time. We don't have much, but we have Vince.
Well, the year they won 72, the expansion Raptors were one of their losses. I remember that with Damon Stoudemire and those days, but I was very young at that time. So
Correct
I
me
don't
if I'm
basketball.
wrong. Oh, sorry, Katie. You don't basketball.
Oh, I don't basketball. I don't watch NBA. That's my speed. I'm a hockey girl.
Oh, okay.
that's so you're
Wait,
sad.
wait.
So you're very
Before
sad
we get
this
into
year.
that, because this is going to be a thing. Well, she's
What?
from Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's why I said she's sad. Not that she is a sad person, more that she is sad because hockey is not going very well.
Listen.
My wife's.
I don't know why the fuck we had to get rid of
mutual.
Gensel, but it's not here nor there. We have a chance. Very slim chance, but we have a chance.
I don't watch
all I
hockey,
need.
but I watch my wife bitch about how bad the Blackhawks are doing on a regular basis.
There you go.
They've got a kid who's like, you know, a teenager who's really, really good. I'm sure they'll be, you know.
They do have that, yes.
You got a rough organization though. Holy shit.
We don't have a lot, but we have Vince around here. Now that he's back. Rylan, before we get into hockey talk, outside of wrestling stuff, Wallop Media has a bunch of other shows, right? And some of them might cover sports.
We do have a sports show. We didn't do one this month. But next month, I assume, Kyle, we're going to talk about basketball.
We are
getting into the playoffs. And we're also going to talk about probably baseball because the MLB season is going to kick off probably by that point. I actually have to download the show because I'm very excited about that. You guys playing 2K24?
WWE.
A little bit.
I don't have a PS5. So no.
I am not. So I have this thing, right? I have so much time that I can dedicate outside of everything else going on. So I have to pick a game and I have to dedicate it to one. And right now that's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Once I beat that, I can move on to something new. I don't like to get new shiny things because then they distract me from my goal and then I never finish them. And I hate paying for a game and not beating it. I also hate the fact that I've had MK1 and I downloaded fucking Peacemaker and haven't even touched him yet because I've been playing nothing but Final Fantasy VII in my free time. And it's just sitting over there and I don't even know what Peacemaker does in that game. So I've avoided 2K24 for that reason. You haven't played as Peacemaker either?
No, since the last time we were both playing Invasions, that was probably like the last time I played it. I tried to play like season 3 of Invasions, and I'm just like, this is too long and tedious. I don't feel like doing this shit again.
My other problem with the WWE games is I loved them growing up, but I loved them because me and Travis and John would get together at each other's houses and we'd create wrestlers and we'd wrestle. Like I don't have that same community that I had in these games. And for a while I was buying them just because they were wrestling games and I was creating all the stuff. But like it wasn't the same, right? For me in the aspects of the games that I enjoyed. And I don't think I got 23.
You didn't.
I think I got 22 was the last one. And it was at that point where I created all of the wrestlers that we used to create growing up, that we used to pretend backyard wrestle as and all of this stuff. And I had all of it. And I was like, this feels pointless because I'm the only one here to enjoy it. My friends aren't here to enjoy it with me. Travis moved to Atlanta. John moved to Tennessee. They're not playing the games. We don't have that connection
Matt
anymore.
misses his friends. That's what he's trying to get to.
Sitting there. What?
Matt misses his friends is the thesis statement he's trying to get to.
I've been missing Travis since like 2005. He only showed up once since then, and that was for my wedding. And then he avoids me at all costs on podcasts. So, but Rylan, what else do you guys do over there besides sports and wrestling? You got other podcasts, you do other things. It's not something with you and a woman.
Oh God, yeah. World's Funniest Podcast is the non-wrestling podcast on our network.
I can't believe I haven't been invited on that because I'm funny.
You are funny. You are funny, and definitely the invitation will be open. But
that is an experience. That shows an experience.
It's me and my buddy DK. We get together. It drops every last day of the month, and it's just us smoking a little weed, having a few drinks, telling stories. We play games sometimes. With that particular episode, we had my friend Bree from work on, and she also tells incredible stories, including her splitting her foot in half.
Oh my God.
Watching someone's eyeballs be removed post death, which is a great story.
Katie is fully out.
Me and DK, we tell social stories, which I don't know if you guys have socials down in the States.
Just a Winnipeg thing.
Yeah, well, out here they call them buck and does, and they eat goldfish, and I'm not for it. We just dance to the chicken dance. And
so
what? The fuck did you just say? Hold on.
Okay.
There's too much Canada. So socials basically are in Winnipeg for reasons that I don't fully understand. In advance of a wedding, you basically yeah, exactly. You basically get all of the people together predominantly so you can get a bunch of the people together who you aren't going to be inviting to the wedding so they can still celebrate you. And you serve a copious amount of alcohol and do a raffle to raise money for the wedding. And this is a tradition
so it's like
that happens. This is a tradition that we have in Manitoba, and basically anybody who has a wedding has this a few months in advance of their wedding. You do
I like that.
the wedding fundraiser event.
That's smart.
And
I
in
feel like I
Ontario,
understand the buck and doe part of it. What the fuck are you talking about eating goldfish?
apparently in Ontario, it is a thing where you guys or they play a game at some point, and the loser eats a goldfish. This
Like a
was
live
explained.
goldfish.
This was explained on the show that comes out
Admittedly,
on March
you live
30th.
in like incredibly rural Ontario.
It's true.
So there's some. If any of you've ever seen, if any of you've ever seen the show Letterkenny, Small Town
Yes.
Canada
Love
is
Letterkenny.
so Letterkenny. Like I had trouble watching it a few times. I've tried because I lived in a small town in Manitoba for a year, and it just gave me way too many flashbacks of that because it was just, it hits the
Listen.
nail on the head really, really well.
I'm not gonna lie. If I moved to Canada, I'd be a hick. Like,
Well, Napanee is the
degen
place for
here.
you, sir.
Yes, there are places where you can go and enjoy that lifestyle. It is fully available to you.
No,
me and Squirrely Dan just hanging out.
Oh God.
That is the I think the only, besides the sports show, non-wrestling show we have on the network. But it is always, Kyle's been on it a bunch of times. We during Christmas season, that's where we have our like podcast.
Happy
Christmas party.
birthday!
Pornhub wished you happy birthday, by the way. Said Pornhub wished you happy birthday, by the way. That's the reaction I was expecting.
Oh my god.
You're live, by the way. It's a video podcast.
Your brother is going to be on Pornhub.
Podcast listeners, Pornhubbers, thank you. It is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Chris.
birthday.
Lovely to see all of you, most of whom I don't know.
You just showed up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
didn't
really
I didn't
did.
ask you on the show. You
No,
were not invited.
but you know what? I appreciate all of your love and support.
This is not my podcast.
Matt
I'm
Rose.
He's
so
welcome
sorry
here.
that
I
I'm
invited him.
ruining this moment, but you know what?
You're
I
good.
can't hear anything
No,
that
this is
anybody else
fantastic.
is saying, and
I know.
you all
I know
have
you
a
can.
wonderful, splendid rest of your evening. Thank you so
Do
much.
you
I
often
hope you
drive
get
by your
birthdays.
brother?
Will you relax?
we do audio podcasts. This doesn't really happen.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Has
I
Vince been
will
on World's
say-
Funniest podcast yet?
I
No,
think so.
no. It's honestly because of the
Goals.
fact that Kyle's not the co-host on it. We don't really branch out all that often. It's usually just me and DK. But we have had, like I said, we do the Christmas show called Jager's Eve, where we all drink a bunch of
Jesus
Jägermeister.
Remember
And
that?
Far too
And-
much. And
yeah,
it's-
oh yeah.
It is like 3 hours of podcast on a steady stream of Jaeger. It is. It's a listen. It's a listen.
This year was a
Katie, do I
two-part.
have any stories?
What?
Do I have any stories to tell?
Scumbag Matt has like 8,000 stories.
Oh, that's how we can bring you on too, scumbag. Matt. Like everyone's got a nickname. It's great.
Oh,
I love
my
it.
Lord.
Oh, the
Oh.
stories I've heard of this man in his scumbag era. Jesus Christ.
I've always missed a lot of those conversations because I'm like, fuck, it's late. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Or fuck, it's late. My
The
girlfriend.
majority of these stories I heard during the pandemic when we were all on the Zoom calls at like 1 a.m.
I would leave. I'm like, it's
You would.
getting late. Either I was getting sex or I was getting tired. So there's no.
It was not the first one, so it was the second one.
Oh, man.
You know, we can talk about that time I got a prostitute. Like, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. I got stories
Oh,
for days.
all
I
right.
know
Well,
the
I'm gonna book
story.
it then.
I know the
We have,
story of you screwing the man's like partner in the hotel, and then you finishing up after the dude dips.
That's not how that story went, but you're close.
That's the bridge version of it.
Oh,
However, that was in Ohio, just like SummerSlam. So, and it was,
I was
for my
just
birthday,
gonna
which
say-
is a couple weeks from now. So,
I was just gonna say, next month Kyle's joining me and DK for a review of Ohio's famous Black Keys new album.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Okay.
Bucky's.
Oh yeah, Black Keys. That's my favorite band. So Ohio got a lot of love.
Okay.
Anyway, but Matt, definitely, we will have you on in the future because I need to hear the story that you suggested and the one that Vince tried to tell. But I definitely like anyone who's still listening, like the show we have out at the end of the month, like we've done 39 episodes of World's Funniest Podcast since 2020. This is the funniest one.
You
It's
plugged it,
really,
so.
really great. Really, really great. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
You know,
He said she split her foot open and watched someone's eyes get removed after they were dead. This is the funniest shit you're ever going to hear.
Oh, Canada's a different place.
oh man,
Yeah. Wallop Media, guys.
You are. Listen, if I will give Canada one fucking thing, it is naked fucking news. All right. I love naked news, and I love Canada for naked news.
It's amazing that we got it over in such a cold place.
Right?
I mean, pointing nipples. That's the draw right there.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to flaccid.
I just
nipple.
remember the Ashley Madison
You
scandal.
want completely right.
I just remember the Ashley Madison scandal coming out and finding
Oh my
out that a quarter of our nation's capital had accounts on Ashley Madison, and I was like, "Yeah, that about checks out."
A quarter? Jesus.
This is the number. It was a number that didn't make sense to me, and then every news source kept confirming the same number. So I was like, "Alrighty."
Sheesh. Also, look at both these motherfuckers blowing their noses at the same time.
What is your? Hey, listen, I have done my best to not sound congested on this show, despite how congested I am. What is the Canadian national capital?
Ottawa,
Okay.
Ontario.
Okay.
It's near-ish Toronto. It's closer to the border with Quebec.
So where Collision was then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Collision was.
And Ontario's where they buck and doe and eat goldfish during the summer.
That's the province, much like a state that you guys would have.
Also bagged
Okay.
milk.
Yes, bagged milk we still do. I didn't think it was.
Don't
I lived in
understand.
Winnipeg for 25 years, moved out here, and I was like, "What the fuck is this bagged milk? Like, what? Why? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think
don't
I
have
think
cartons."
You lose me there.
I've heard
Yeah, I
good things
don't
about
understand.
bagged milk.
People keep raving about it, and then having their own containers for pouring milk or whatever. We've solved this problem.
I approve that, Masagi.
The
I
massage.
need a message. I don't remember what that was about. It was like 10 minutes. It was like
That was like forever ago.
it was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but I saved it
Whatever.
for a good point, and it was the bagged milk point.
There you go.
I'm
Bakley approves
saying,
bag. Bakley is essentially bagged milk.
What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Delicious.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Bro.
I got to hear this list of names of this episode. Like,
So
Oh yeah.
What do you got on your list, Katie and Vince?
I didn't write anything down. Once I heard Katie was writing shit down, I'm like, oh, what's the fucking point?
I have a list. We have sexy hamsters,
Okay.
drugs and cheap condoms, Canadian drive-by, a little snickety snack, because people liked that one. And then I don't know what phrasing you wanted for the D train. So I have join the D train or get on the D train, something along those
Right.
lines.
Ride the D train.
Ride the D train.
Okay.
However,
Those are the
I am personally advocating for Canadian drive-by. I like
I
that
will
every
say-
time our Canadian friends are on, we have a Canadian themed title.
Yeah. I did originally have penciled in roast beef smash burgers based off of the whole
the Gigi
vaginal
Dolan
low
tweet.
blow from Twitter.
Yep.
So
We never got around to saying that though.
No.
Which is crazy. So it
No,
can't
because
be
we had
that
to
anymore.
advocate for women. What else is new?
I will
You
always
made that
advocate.
narrative.
Smash burgers are delicious, Katie. They're delicious.
Wait until you see the
So it's
rest
roast
of
beef.
March Madness, Matt. That shit was hilarious.
How could I see the rest of a show that hasn't happened yet, Vince? We're still live.
Vince, that's crazy. That's so strange.
How could something be funny that
Because-
hasn't happened yet?
I said the rest of March Madness, meaning the whole epilogue of March Madness. You've been on the first couple ones. You haven't seen this one, so wait until you
How do
see
you know
what
how
we
funny
got.
it's gonna be before it happens?
We'll see.
See, this is why we don't try and keep kayfabe on our show. It's too damn
He's
hard.
not doing a very
Like,
good job.
Yeah.
said we
Doesn't-
record ahead and we sound all right.
That's always the goal.
That is
It
the
was
most
over-
Canadian plug of anything I've ever heard. How's your podcast? We record ahead and we sound all right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
We
true.
stay prepared and we use the mics.
Yeah.
Oh,
Parker
Oh my
Bordeaux
God.
popped up in AAA. Why?
what?
That's like one of the whitest dude in AEW, and you show him up in the Mexican promotion.
I mean, maybe they just booked him as young Brock Lesnar. Maybe they're trying to do some sort of.
Maybe they booked him thinking he was Brock Lesnar. Like when they did the first Saudi Arabia show, and they booked that giant sumo wrestler because they couldn't get Yokozuna because he was dead,
Mm,
Yeah.
and the Prince really wanted Yokozuna, and he thought it was Yokozuna.
that was.
Is
was
that a thing
time.
that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the first
Yeah.
Saudi show, and
He,
the Great
he
Royal
asked
Rumble.
for like Yokozuna, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, and they had all
You know,
since
everyone is-
passed.
Well, yeah.
Basically.
The only one who was still alive that he wanted was the Undertaker. Everyone else, they were all.
I would have laughed so hard if they had just dressed up like everyone as those characters. And never done it, like
Who would you get to play the Ultimate Warrior in WWE right now?
Triple H.
Mm,
I'd
doesn't have to- he
hire,
doesn't have the
I'd
energy
hire
anymore.
Jay Lethal just to play him and then fire him.
It's fucked up.
It's the most entertaining thing he's done. Was like Black Machismo and
Was-
TNA.
Was Parker Bordeaux in the Dragon Ball Z costume, or was the Lucha Libre guy in the Dragon Ball Z costume? And if he
I'm
was,
gonna
I feel like Lucha
shut
Libre
up.
guy.
And say Lucha Libre.
I'm just saying, if Lucha Libre guy in Dragon Ball Z costume is the thing, I feel like he deserves a name.
Lucha Libre guy. And well, listen, Dragon Ball Z is huge in Latin America, all over the globe. Like they were out here mourning Toriyama like that was their father. Like Dragon Ball Z goes deep in there. It goes deep. So I wouldn't be surprised if a luchador there was dressed up. Wait, what?
So now Christian Cage has a bunch more people to talk about.
The whole South America is gonna get cooked by Christian Cage. There we go. Right after he takes Pac under his wing.
Do you think there's anybody who's hiding their father's alive or dead status in AEW so as not to get into a
I
with Christian?
think so. But if I'm Christian Cage or his team, I'm doing all the good.
Hiring
He's doing
private
the hit
eyes.
list. He's doing the hit list.
Hi,
I mean,
Christian.
listen,
Is your dad dead?
he literally found the address of Danny Garcia's dad, like where he's buried. Like he's a monster.
He's our
He is.
monster.
He's
though.
amazing.
He's our monster.
He is our
No, I want him to, because he's amazing.
Mm.
I love that shit.
By the way,
Uh,
what was the title? Sorry. What we settled on? Canadian Drive-By?
I don't think I said me personally, I'm advocating for Canadian drive-bys. Kyle and Rylan really seem to like Snickety Snack. They both giggled
It is entertaining.
3 times now at it.
It's fun to say.
It is.
little sniggity snack.
It's like when
You have to
Katie
do this.
hears the say what and starts laughing every time. Every time.
Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what?
It's on a loop, and
Say what?
when you
What is
preface it,
happening?
it's not going to be funny to
it's
it. Like you
it's
can't-
not it's not
Yes,
funny
it's-
when I know it's coming.
This is why you're not on World's Funniest Pod, because you need.
don't get me wrong. We don't have sound bites. Just depraved stories. Kyle, I know we're still on air, but like, why don't you give a preview of your opinion on WrestleMania 17?
Oh,
I got to
Jesus
see this
Christ.
reaction from Matt now.
Okay. So what I said was this is WrestleMania 38. If not for the main event, top to bottom, WrestleMania 38 was a better show than X7. So I recognize, here's the thing. I recognize that X7 is a beloved show, and I loved X7 for all of the reasons that X7 was beloved. But that card takes so long to get going. It takes its time to get going. And yes, everyone's hyped by the end, and the main event is obviously the main event, and it's an untouchable masterpiece. But I think the main event is doing more of a heavy lifting for the greatness of that show than people remember it as.
You should also make the point that you made about people who complain about.
Oh yes, for people who say that NXT, especially during like golden year age NXT or even AEW to a degree, was nothing but like a bunch of kick out happy like finisher spamming matches.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch the main event of X7.
That's all that it was.
I love that match, but that was Cole Gargano, and I love Cole Gargano as well.
I hated it.
But that like The Rock versus Austin in that match is not that dissimilar from that form of wrestling.
It was like the birth of the false finish.
I love the match.
Taking one of the best WrestleMania video packages ever created out of the equation.
Uh-oh.
He said shit about that.
When
too.
You need to shush.
The way badly.
Uh-oh.
The way
What do you got against the WWF's favorite band, Limp Bizkit, and their version of My Way?
Wait. That's a cover?
It's not really a cover. I'm just.
Oh,
everyone knows Frank Sinatra's My Way. Limp Bizkit did My Way.
He said he called
You really dragged me down this episode.
I'm sorry.
God, it is not. Thanks, y'all. It is not my genre of music. The early 2000s had a deluge of angry white boy
Before
music.
you continue, my favorite band of all time is Korn. Please continue.
That just didn't sit to my particular taste of music. Let's say that.
I'm not going to say anything.
Which is fair.
Which is fair.
Limp Bizkit's not for everyone.
There's like a minute.
Limp Bizkit is for everyone.
There's like a minute in that promo package where they're talking about the Rock's manager, Deborah. People gloss over that part too, and it's very weird.
It was a great beat to the story. That was Stone Cold's wife. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I'm looking at the WrestleMania 17 card.
Yeah,
I can give you some things, but he said it took forever to get started. Match number 2 for the Intercontinental Championship is Chris Jericho versus William Regal before Chris Jericho was problematic.
Go back and watch that match. That's what I thought going into it too. That was my immediate thought, was like, okay, it's going to kick off strong. One, that match is only about 7 minutes long. And two, it doesn't really get to that next level. Those two guys are great. They didn't give them enough time to get it going.
And the storyline was
Kane.
Hardcore Kane.
The work rate guy in that match was Raven, y'all. And this is
Raven is a work rate guy. In a hardcore match, of course it was Raven.
Oh my god.
This was like a lot of
you
it
almost shut down the whole show.
A lot of it was Big Show and Kane throwing each other through set pieces and doing it in the slowest possible fashion.
Yeah, it's because they're big.
I know, but
we also had on this pay-per-view, outside of the main event, TLC,
amazing
Hardys
match.
versus Dudleys versus Edge and Christian.
True,
and an amazing spot by Lita.
Yes.
We had Kurt Angle versus Redacted.
Amazing match. I didn't say this was a bad show. I said that it is.
He's like, wait. I didn't say it, but
We had China versus Ivory for the women's championship on a WrestleMania match. Very rarely at this point did you ever see a women's championship match on WrestleMania. And China was fucking China, and Ivory was one of the best women's wrestlers that they had at the time.
China, how
the
was
match?
that?
The match was 2 minutes. It was great.
It was 2
great.
minutes.
It was a women's match, and fucking.
I know it was great for the story, but it was a squash match, and that was fine. But it didn't really give Ivory the opportunity to show off what she's able to do. She's great wrestler.
And then, again, outside of all of that, you had the pure drama that is Linda McMahon in a wheelchair, drugged, as her husband is doing dirty, disgusting things to Trish Stratus, standing up, kicking him in the balls. Vince versus Shane with Linda in his corner, Stephanie in her dad's corner with Trish. Family drama, Jerry Springer at its height in 2001. All stuff that would not fly today.
All-time great moment was Linda rising from the chair. Don't get me wrong. The rest of that match, it's okay. It's a lot more Vince not getting
to get there.
Did
you watch all the builds or did you just watch the match?
No, we just watched the show.
You gotta watch the build. See, that's why we went back and we did Return to Wrestling. That's why we went back and did Return to Wrestling. We watched the build. You should have started at fucking the Royal Rumble and worked your way all the way to WrestleMania so you knew what the fuck was going on. Maybe that's why some of the shit didn't hit for you. Chris Jericho pissed in William Regal's fucking teacup.
I'm aware
that was the storyline, Matt. That was the whole storyline.
Would you not want to fight somebody that peed in your teacup?
He sure didn't fight like somebody who had his teacup peed in. He fought like William Regal. He didn't even break out the knucks, man. I would have taken out the knucks if somebody peed my tea.
You gonna catch hands in the office?
This is not how I expected this to go, Rylan. What have you done?
And on top of all of that, other great shit, right? One of my favorite WrestleMania matches until 25, Undertaker and Triple H fighting all over the arena, beating the shit out of each other for the first of their 3 bouts. I love American Badass Undertaker. I love the chemistry that Taker and Triple H have. I love that match. It is the one that I remember outside of Rock and Austin the most from that pay-per-view. Undertaker just beating the dog shit out of Triple H all over the arena for their feud. But Iron Sheik won the gimmick battle royal, and Iron Sheik has always been my fuck Hulk Hogan guy. So anything Iron Sheik wins, that's my boy.
Iron Sheik won that. I agree. Iron Sheik won that battle royal because he was not able to do the spot to go over. It was supposed to be Hellbilly Jim who won that.
Listen,
battle royal.
I don't.
And also, P.S. Hayes comes out wearing a cape with the Confederate flag, y'all. We gloss over
because he's a piece of shit.
Like, are we supposed to be surprised by that statement, or
I think I not to spoil anything, but I believe Kyle on the podcast called him the ghost of racism past, which was a great name.
I need people to start calling him that from now on now.
Oh my god! All right,
sorry, Kyle. I
got 14 minutes. Shane and Vince got 14 minutes. TLC got 15 minutes. Taker and Triple H got damn near 19. Austin and The Rock. Yeah, did they have a lot of kickouts? But it was a fucking half an hour long match.
That match was
I did not disparage the match between Rock and Austin. It was an incredible match. All I said with X7 is that it is a show where the main event does more heavy lifting for the greatness of the show than people remember it. That's all I said.
No, you listed that card, and that did not feel like outside of the TLC match and the main event didn't feel like a big Mania card to me.
You forgot Eddie Guerrero.
Watch the build.
I
X Factor was also on the pre-show, I believe.
Gives a fuck about X Factor.
They had Uncle Cracker doing their theme song.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Before Matt goes on more of his tirade about X7 being the great,
are you going to defend Val Venus too?
Oh my god, no! I am gonna
Strike
sign
Spencer.
off. It's almost
Good
3
father.
hours on here. It's almost 2 a.m. for me. I want to climb into bed and go to sleep. I took a nap before we started recording and almost missed the
Me
deadline.
too.
I literally
Yeah.
knocked out. I was trying to watch Collision, and I'm like, you know what? My bed is right there. I should be there. And I just laid down and then fell
Take
asleep.
that, Tony Khan.
Yeah. How dare you try to entertain me with wrestling?
Now,
when I can
you
easily-
said it was better than WrestleMania 38 outside of the final match, right?
I said
Which the
38 was.
final
I said 38 was the more consistent show aside from the final match.
I agree with that.
First off, here on this show, anything that has RK Bro winning anything is not considered good, consistent, or valid.
I understand.
So,
This also was the
Go
show where Austin returned and had his match against.
on night one, we're talking.
Yep.
You got to take
We
it as a
also had
whole.
Bobby Lashley versus Omos. We had
Exciting
Sami
match.
Zayn versus
You
Johnny
do the-
Knoxville.
Which was an incredible match. Don't hate on Sammy versus Knoxville. Come
That was
on.
I'm with
weird
Kyle
match.
on that one. That was,
That was
so
so
much fun.
entertaining. That was
It was
so.
really, really fun.
What else?
Anyway,
do we have?
We
Kyle,
passed the 3-hour mark.
Rylan, love you guys. Got to do more shows together. Rylan, I saw you.
I don't know if I'm invited back anymore.
No, I'll invite you back. I'll invite you. I just won't tell Matt. You'll just show up. And it's like, oh, hi, here, Canadian.
I don't know what happened here.
Oh, Matt just removed him from the screen.
This is turned. This is taking a turn.
He was leaving
No,
anyways.
I
it's
kicked
okay.
him. I kicked him from the call.
He was leaving anyways. It's fine.
Happy Corbin was on this card. Logan Paul was on this card. RK Bro was on this
I'm
card.
aware
I
of
I
that.
don't like Logan Paul either, but when he gets in the ring, it's usually pretty spectacular.
That match was admittedly
It's-
sloppy. And it wasn't necessarily really Logan Paul, which was weird at the time. The Mysterios were surprisingly meh on that show. But
It's also really hard to be like, hey, WrestleMania 17 is worse than a 2-night pay-per-view that packed in a shit ton of every fucking thing. That's
yeah,
not
like,
fair.
What's happening right now?
Kyle's never doing a podcast with me ever again.
Oh, this is taking a turn. No, I
Most
mean,
of these potions.
if you want to, like, that's the thing. If you want to gear up the Twitter people's against me to defend, I say good things about WrestleMania X7.
He does.
The problem with that is everything that I grew up enjoying is now a bad thing, and you can't talk about it or praise it. So they're all going to be on your side because none of it ages well. Vince versus Shane and that build definitely doesn't fucking age well.
Oh, she barks like a dog. That is part of that promo package. Is Trish Stratus on her knees barking like a dog.
I hate Vince McMahon
Yep.
so much.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm just like, that's the difficulty is with some of it doesn't age in the modern lens. I will say this: TLC holds up as well as any match on any WrestleMania that you're going to see. And I think that's still widely beloved as an incredible match. And also, Angle versus Redacted is an absolute banger.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, even though it didn't pan out well, I have never been more utterly shocked than I was the moment that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon got together to screw The Rock. That is a moment in my life that seeing that happen after everything from the previous years will always have an impact on me. So again, yeah, that main event. Also, again, Triple H, Undertaker, I loved personally. I know it's not everyone's, probably not even their favorite Triple H Undertaker WrestleMania match. Like,
Third one.
but
Hard to touch that one.
Can I just say that whenever Triple H has Motorhead bring him out to the ring, man, they really got to learn the lyrics to that fucking song because
why?
Just
he thought
doesn't
he was
know
only
them.
sing it
Doesn't
once.
know them at 20 or sorry, what was it? 21 we reviewed. He doesn't know it at 17. Like, I'm sure they did it one more time too.
at least.
He thought he had to sing it once, and he sang it, and then they recorded it, and he never need to do it again.
Yeah, they weren't pulling out the game at a
Fair.
concert.
I would like to know if Motorhead ever pulled out the game at a concert.
I hope they did.
Or
I would hope
Evolution.
so too. Oh, that's right. I forgot they did Evolution too.
Evolution is a mystery.
Shit.
Oh God. So you said you're not going to make fun of Shawn Michaels' eye anymore
If Tony D wins,
right. Are we still allowed to make fun of the fact that he sounds like Cookie Monster?
yes.
Okay. So
I
want
mean, you
to
can make
clarify
fun
the
of
rules.
whatever you want. I just know he blocks motherfuckers for talking about his eye on Twitter and shit, and I have not got blocked yet, so I will refrain from saying things about his eye if he puts that belt on Tony D. That's all.
That's fair.
WrestleMania weekend, like, while I'm not going to the event, I'm trying to watch as much as I can to pack into that first night that we're doing our live show. And wait, no, that's Stand and Delivers on
Saturday.
Sunday? Oh, is
Yeah.
it Saturday? Oh,
Yeah, it's Saturday
it's gonna be a
afternoon.
long one. And then I'm also going to watch the Hall of Fame, which I
This
won't
is
have
Saturday
much to
afternoon.
say.
That's gonna be difficult. All right, we'll have to, I might talk about NXT on Sunday because I don't think I'm gonna have time on Saturday to talk about it to watch NXT.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
Well, guys, it is now 3 a.m. Work at 9. But I appreciate being on the show. It's always great working with you guys.
Despite Kyle's beliefs on WrestleMania 17, I love you both.
Listen to the show. Please listen to the show. I appreciate you having us a lot. It does.
We always love having you guys on. It was a blast as always. Thank you guys for coming through. As I always say, we'll definitely have you back. I'm not really booking anything. I think I'm booked up to WrestleMania, so I'm not booking anything after WrestleMania. But we got Powerbomb Jutsu in 2 weeks, and then after that, we're not doing anything. I haven't booked anything until after WrestleMania. So once we get on that, we'll talk. We'll get you guys back. We love you.
For sure.
It's been a good time.
Right.
I appreciate you getting all dressed up for me, but not for Vince.
It was early at 5 p.m. It was early.
I'll have to break out a suit jacket next time.
Hell yeah, you will.
Everybody has
all right, guys, we're going to end the live stream. This is the most people we've had watching us this late, and I can't tell how long.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Thank you guys for sticking around.
They got mad.
Talking about WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, there you go. Got to do an episode.
It's usually how it
All right,
goes.
guys.